Well, I gotta record this.
Okay, did everybody have a chance to look at
He's trying to show up in March.
You start that. Yeah.
Motion.
Pardon?
You start that because I didn't hear it in that way.
I did, and it's showing you,
That's fine. I just didn't hear it say start recording. Maybe I missed it. You're probably fine. You're fine.
but go ahead and push the green arrow again.
It said something about it recording. I think it's on.
Oh, he heard it.
Lights on up there, so. My bad. I just wanted to check.
We have a motion to accept the minutes from the last
Motion
meeting.
to accept last month's minutes.
A second? All in favor? Carried. Okay. We are supposed to have Kinsey Brett in here, but I don't think she's here. She called me and wanted to know if we could get to a sand volleyball. There's a bunch of them go to Plymouth every week to play volleyball, so that's what she was gonna. We can kind of walk around and get some prices. See.
Do you know where she was proposing it might?
She was just wanting us to help her. I did kind of look it up and the sand was a lot more expensive than when they put it. And then I talked to Lindsay about it and she said 2 or 3 sand volleyball courts is usually what you do. So we can do some more research on it if somebody wants to volunteer. But what I read online was that you really need to get the right kind of sand, and that's a screen sifted type sand. So it wasn't as cheap as I thought it would be.
In the early 90s, we had them over there in the city park. You remember? I think it's.
I'm too young.
That's, I know. The city park, or excuse me, where the skate area near in between that and
Okay.
yeah, maybe where the tennis or still was. We had leagues then, same participate.
Yeah, so when we're out driving around, everybody just kind of take a look and see where you think that maybe you might be able to put, Mitch wants one.
So, yeah.
So I will get with Kinsey and maybe she can make it to the next meeting, but I think it's a great idea and we've all talked about it before, so. They're on our one list. Okay, so I'll let Lee go first.
Okay, y'all should have my notes. I don't have any needs or requests at this point. Just trying to get things ready for the season. Getting with the high schools, different outings that we have scheduled for 2026. Pretty much have everything booked as far as for the year. I do have club card coming in Wednesday, the 11th. We've got about 8 cars down. Most of them are under warranty, so they're going to come in Wednesday to get those all taken care of. So those should be good to go. We'll be back to a full operating fleet at 50. 2026 liquor license. Everything should be filled out, done, ready to go. It's on Beth's desk. She just has to do the liability portion.
When is that due?
It is not due until August, but we started it about the same time last year as what we're doing this year. And I don't know what the state was doing, but it was after August 8th before we finally got everything taken care of. So I just started the day we open. I usually try to start it, get it ready. So that way we have all of our ducks in a row on our end. So like I said, it's on Beth's desk, just waiting on liability. So as soon as she gets that done, it can be sent out ready to go. So, and then the only other thing that I have was discussion in regards to what we talked about, the K9 for the golf course. I don't know if Anthony's going to talk about that, but I know it's probably going to be a topic of the meeting tonight. So wanted to answer any questions or, chime in on my opinion on it if you guys wish. So.
Okay. Actually worked on it a lot.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay. So this report's basically January and February.
Just kind of shows what was going on during that time. So the first thing, we ground all the reels, bed knife. That's something we gotta do quite frequently, especially at the end of the year and beginning of the season. We maintenance all the equipment, got most of the oil changes, fluid changed, everything that needs done on that. There's a few of them that still need done. The third thing on here is equipment. We talked about the utility vehicles a couple months back. Knew they were 40 grand, so that was kind of out of the thing. We discussed that we could get used equipment. I can't really give you any quotes on them because they kind of fluctuate. They're used equipment, anywhere between 15 and 20,000 a unit. So we can get two for the price of one new unit. They'll have anywhere between 800 and 1,600 hours. Ours have got 4,000 or 5,000 hours on them. So we can keep them for another 6-7 years before we need to replace the utility vehicles. The other thing I want to touch on is the rough mower we have. I started going through some paperwork there. Every year that thing seems to keep bleeding us. We gotta figure something out with it eventually. I mean, I've probably got $18,000 wrapped up in it just in the last 3-4 years of repairs. There's options on because used equipment, it makes things a little bit easier for me. So with the budget we have, there's a lot of wiggle room there to get a lot of equipment that I need and postpone, say, next year's budget or kind of adjust it to, accommodate what we picked up this year versus what we're gonna need to pick up next year. It might offset that a little bit. So, and it's options, just keep costs down. The machines I'm looking at are about $40,000 for the rough mower. We'd probably get, since our machine has about, I guess, 4,400 hours, you lost about 90% of the value of that machine, maybe 95. So I'd be lucky to get $5,000-7,000 for that machine on a trade-in value. So that's the cost of what it takes when you keep the machines for so long. When you get that many hours on them, don't expect to get any money on it.
And how long have you had it?
That machine is a 16, so it's 10 years old. So, ones we have left, they're all about the same here. We got that fairway mower, which is still in good shape. The rough mower just nickels and dimes us to death. So it's, we got the upkeep on it, and then the trade-in value is going to be next to nothing. So, we're gonna have to figure out something. But used equipment kind of helps alleviate a lot of that problems with, the cost of the equipment anyway. The fourth thing I have on here, last thing, is goose control. When we were down, we went to the show. They had some pretty cool, nifty little things down there. They have these dogs that they had. If you flip over the page, it kind of offers what they offer. It alleviates the geese problem completely. She gave references toward it. I got some kind of hidden here for. So the dogs are the one we're looking at, $6,500. The cost of the dog they're good for 10 years. That's how long they work for. They're working dog. They checked into like Humane Society, that kind of stuff, what ordinance the city has. Working dogs fall in a different category, off leash kind of thing. That's what we were talking about. It approximately cost about $1,500 a year for food and upkeep on it. We would shelter the dog. We would keep it at the shop or take it home. That'd be one of the options.
Vet?
What's that?
Is that the vet? Is that what that?
So if you took the amount for what the dog is, how long the dog was working for, the years, how much money you're gonna pay in food plus the vet bills, it comes out to be about $1,500 a year. So, and that's it'd be considered not really an employee, but it's a working dog. So it'll be doing nothing but geese control. If the geese go in the water, the dog will swim after the geese, push them out of the water and get them completely off of the property. That's what they're designed to do. They come fully trained. They come fully everything. They come in.
How old are they when you get them?
So this one here between 1 year and 2 years old. So she said the lifespan are about 13. They get at least, he said 95% of the dogs last about 10 years, about how long they work for. And then they retire the dog. And insurance, if you got insurance on the dog, it's about $360 a year. That covers any expense that the dog has. If it breaks a leg, something like that, it'll get fixed up. Won't cost any money other than what the insurance costs for the dog. Food, that just depends on what you plan on feeding it. And the shelter we would build. We would build a shelter. We would build something for the dog to hang out outside during non-working hours. And the weekends, the dog would go home with one of the employees, I, you know. And the dog will also have uses in other areas. So if you got problems in the lake area, it can always be, you know, it can always help out over there.
Like the
Flower garden, it
butterfly
can help out
garden.
over there. It's not just for the dog. I mean, you can use it anywhere there's geese for the most part, as long as the handler and the dog are on the same page.
And who would be handling?
So I would be the primary, and then anybody else that's, you know, at work would be, because it can handle multiple handlers. So the ladies hand personally deliver the dogs, and then they go through a whole process of training with you. So the dog and you are on the same page. And then you just basically take your training that you got and give it to the next person. It can handle 2, 3, 4 trainers easily. They're not very social dogs. You don't got to worry about barking at people. You don't got to worry about them chasing people. They're an on-task dog. They chase geese and geese only. And their commands, so like say the dog takes off, you give it a command, it'll stop and just lay down, and it won't bother golfers. It won't do anything. But we're spending, we didn't do anything at the golf club or the golf course this year or last year, but I spoke with Ed. They spent $2,500 on 68 geese. So, I mean, and that's not saying that it ain't gonna happen this year. It could be worse this year. You know, we just didn't have the problem with the geese quite like we did in 2024. They were kind of back and forth on the other side by the road there on 14 or whatever it is in front of Pro Shop.
What was the $2,500 for 68 geese? What was that spent on? I mean, what was the?
That was
It was to round them up and take them home.
yes, they round them up and take them.
Okay.
But the problem with that, you know, and this as an after action report, the problem was that they came the day before the 4th of July.
Yeah,
And they were trying to round up some of the geese. The geese already left the golf course.
Yeah.
I have a permit over at the golf course, but they already left. There wasn't any geese over there at the time. And so at the lake, and then they go out, they went out in canoes or kayaks and was rounding them up.
Yeah.
They got some of them, but then some of them, like 15 got away because some guy was shooting fireworks, scaring them to chase them away from the guy. So,
and just some statistics for some geese. One goose, it can eat 2 square feet of grass in a single day. Now you got 100 geese, that's a third of an acre a day it's chewing up. And that damage right there is anywhere between 17 and 3,500 damage that we got to do on a yearly, if you see what I mean. So it alleviate all them costs right there. You get rid of the geese, you get rid of the $3,500 of damage from the geese.
And that's assuming it's not on the green.
Yeah, and that's just fairways and tees and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
on the
But
greens,
it's
gonna
a
be a
lot.
lot
But we
more
need to
expensive,
figure
so.
something out that's more of a permanent type fix for the geese versus
have
just
dogs.
throwing money.
I have many of dogs. I have 3
Okay.
dogs. Yes.
That's honestly my only concern is
I got dogs too. I
the
got 2 dogs.
responsibility of the dog.
Yeah.
Well, I've talked to Kim in depth about this. I am a dog lover. Anthony's
knew
a
you
dog
were.
lover.
Yeah, I got dogs.
This
I got
dog
plenty
would
of dogs.
would live the king's life over there. I guarantee you that. And it's, you know, we had talked about, you know, building the facility onto potentially building it onto his barn to where the dog would have an indoor and outdoor facility, you know, be able to go in and out of a doggy door, this and that. That dog, if there's at any point that I feel like that dog is lonely or it's too cold for it or whatever it might be, that dog will be going home with me. It's that won't be the
And
case.
to touch on that,
Or
I spoke with the
him.
lady,
One,
the
two.
owner of her named Rebecca Gibson, and I asked her about that too. I was like, because there's days, you know, our work schedule is 6 to 2:30 on the golf course. So, you know, the dog will at that point be kennel, right, and or go home with us depending. But during the work week, I asked her about the kennel. I said it'll be in there a minimum of say 12 hours. Said not a problem. The dogs are trained to they're not really social with other dogs. They'd rather be by themselves. And she said it was just, as long as they have some area to walk around and go outside and use the bathroom, they're perfectly fine. They're content with what they do. That's what they're raised for. So,
But I can also tell you to kind of piggyback onto that, him and his staff, they get done their day-ins 2:30. Me and my staff are there until dark. So with that being said, I would just tell him, just bring the dog over to the pro
yeah,
shop.
they can still work.
My
all day.
staff can
They
take the
work
dog
all
over
day.
later in the evening if we're going to leave it in the kennel, or we'll take it home. Either way, but yeah, that dog will
And
live a
hoping
king's
maybe the
life.
deer too. Maybe it'll help push the deer away if they smell a dog out there, you know, around the green. Maybe it'll keep them from kind of coming up. Because they'll come out and damn near lick you.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Have you talked, have
I mean, they will.
you talked to any other golf courses that?
I've got a hold of, yes, I got a hold of Champagne Golf Club. I called the other ones, Valhalla, Mystic Hills, which is down here in Culver, which is old Ursi's golf course. Their course is closed. Champagne, no geese. Valhalla, I couldn't get a hold of.
I got a buddy, fishing buddy that, moved to Phoenix, worked on a golf course.
There's
The owner bought a dog. I don't know if it's from the same company. But, he sent me a video of the dog working.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and, ducks and geese left.
Oh, immediately, yeah. And they train the dog to act like a coyote or a fox or a wolf. So it poses a certain way. And that's what kind of keeps the geese from coming back. It's
That's what it is. These geese portray the dog as
Yeah,
a coyote.
we got other animals out there like swans. They're supposed to scare geese. So
They don't.
One did about
They
swan.
don't.
So
And we
it's
talked
not-
to a
it's-
couple people also when we were down at the PGA
Yeah.
show that had them.
And they don't have no issues.
They
They're-
loved them. They
they're-
said, we have no issues with ducks or geese since we brought this
So-
dog on board. The members love the dogs. I mean, so
It seems to be more popular on golf courses than as as it's going on. I mean, it's an option. I mean, it seems like we're throwing money. We can't like how we used to. We used to euthanize them ourselves. That kind of became a little problem. So we got to figure something out and keep the cost down.
Now, Anthony, let
Yeah.
me ask you a question.
Sure.
You work year round, right?
Yes.
Some of that.
Yes.
So do you plan in the winter time to have the dog out there too?
Yeah. The dog. I mean, because we had geese out there in the wintertime too. So you can take him out, let him run.
that's when they're the worst.
See, and that's what I'm getting back. And this is what I ran into. I had no clue about geese until I started. Well, I knew about geese and they're like rodents. But once I started doing all the permitting and everything else, so right now you could get a permit to oil the eggs. So the problem as a parks department that is a problem with me is you got to get different permits because they're at different locations. So the city park would have to get a permit. I mean, the golf course would have to get a permit, and Lakeside Park would have to get a permit. So then, after a certain time, once their eggs are hatched, then you could get a permit for collection. Well, that permit for collection only goes until August 1st, and that's cut off because the geese, after they lay their eggs, they lose their flight feathers and they can't fly. So that's why you see them all walking around with their babies and everything. So at that time frame, you could round them up. That's another permit at 2 different locations. The guy and there's only a list of 12 people in the state of Indiana that could round them up. The issue is if we I would recommend nobody to round them up because the regulations, if you step out of that regulation, now you can be arrested for, you got to hold a goose a certain way. You got to have snow fencing. You got to be able to put them in the trailer, transporting them a certain way, separate the adults. I mean, it's just, I wouldn't recommend anybody doing that because if you make one step wrong, you could get in trouble. So then after that, then the problem is our golf course is in city limits, and they did it before where they had an open hunt, where they shot. But then now you have local citizens hearing gunshots and geese and all that other stuff. So it's not real good public wise, So and then after that, basically you're on your own. I mean, the geese have free range for 6 months out of the year. And if you drive by there in the wintertime. So that's the whole permitting, so the way they charge to come and collect them, one is they have like a $750 setup fee, and then they charge per location. And then they charge, this guy was $10 a goose, but that was a couple of years ago. So, the more geese he rounded up, the more money he made, so it was beneficial to him. Now, the permitting wasn't that problem because I tell you what, it just shows what a nuisance geese are because dealing with any state paperwork, I got that permit back within 12 hours. And that's unheard of when you're talking about any permit through the state. But they're just so anxious to get rid of these geese. But the problem is that's one time out of a whole year, hoping you're going to get the geese at that moment.
Right.
So this way, throughout the wintertime, because if you drive by in the winter, there'd be 100
there was
geese out.
Oh, I
geese
get
out there
pictures
this
from our members that drive by all the time. There is literally thousands of geese on 8, 9, and 10, or 8 and 9 right there, just
Like,
everywhere.
if you went out there to the golf course right now, went out there and played 9, 7, 1, you can just go down the fairway and just see goose droppings everywhere, and all where they picked and picked and picked and picked. I mean, just that whole fairway, and it's mainly on the south side. I mean, they will eventually come over to the north side of the golf course, but not as much there on the south side. I mean, it's just, it gets to the point to where I'm just, I'm going in and constantly repairing these greens after the fact of these geese. I mean, we can get rid of them for a minute. They come back, I can't go out there. I tried using some poppers one time. Them are about the same, about like a gunshot.
Well, they fly with them.
Yeah. So there's really no.
Well, they've gotten to the point now though, like I have a gun over there that shoots blanks for a shot, for a shotgun for an outing. And I'll go out and shoot that thing right beside them and they just look at it. Like they don't, they've gotten to the point where that doesn't even bother them anymore.
I mean, this is, like I said, this is an option of something. It seems like we've thrown a lot of, stuff at the wall and nothing seems to stick very well.
I think it's a
The
great-
PR killing,
great
like we
idea.
did with the euthanized, that was a bad PR thing. It was cheaper. You had to depend on everything working out together. The mow the leaves at the right time. The people can get over here and do it. So there's a lot of timing involved.
I think the dog's a good idea.
You know,
I'm just,
so
as long as
it's
you
an option.
guys, extra responsibility on your days,
Yeah, no,
you guys are the one.
We've talked about
we've
it, how
thought
it would
about it,
affect
and I'm just-
us and our staff. And I mean,
Have you taken
he's on
some
board.
of the-
I'm on
I mean,
board.
somebody
Yeah, I
to,
mean, yeah.
and if it works out great, I mean,
And
it's
that
something
would-
that, you could even possibly, you could possibly rent the dog out too,
Do you have?
throw it over
funds
the
for
Alps,
this?
let them chase off their geese.
You're gonna run the geese to the lake.
Yeah,
Well, we'll run the geese
That's-
wherever,
that's
as
a
long
very
as they're
good
not on the golf
possibility.
course, I don't care where they're at.
but
You know, I
if
mean,
push comes to
it's
shove, we
not a
run them
problem
off the
that
golf
way.
course. They come to the lake. If I got extra staff, give me a call and I'll have my staff. Somebody that's trained with the dog.
Yeah, I
Run
mean,
over
they
to
can
the
always
lake
run
with
them
the
off.
dog.
I
That would be
mean,
awesome.
we wouldn't be opposed to that.
so, I mean,
Boil the eggs.
we can do that. We can still do that to keep the population down. As boiling eggs that you're referring to, we get a permit for that, get one pretty quick.
But getting a permit is nothing to it.
Right.
But each property owner has to sign off on
Right,
it, and that's the only thing. And then
right.
you turn in how many eggs, you oil. And there ain't nothing to it.
Right.
The other thing I want to add is
2 years ago, we also got the DNR and they banned the geese. And they say that scares them so much that they fly away. Well, 2 days ago, my wife was sitting at the dam. And here comes 2 geese walking by, one with a band and one without a band. So it might scare them and they fly over to this lake and ours flies over to the other lake. But the thing is you see geese with bands all the time.
Yeah.
So I don't think banning them, and I mean, even I moved up here from Avon.
Yeah.
It was even an issue in our school where I'd unload the bus of special needs kids. And I mean, it was all over the sidewalk. They're up on the buildings, they're in front of the buildings, and the janitor's solution was giving us a broom and a dustpan.
Yeah.
So that was the solution, because they'd stand outside the doors and pick on them. So I mean, there's an overpopulation, definitely, even in the cities.
Oh, yeah.
And all the retention ponds and everything else,
Yeah, we have to record all the bands. So like when we did that the first year, when we called them in to kind of do what we had to do with them, we had 3 or 4 of them that had bands on. We had to write the numbers down and keep track of the ones to actually have to cut them off too
yeah.
and give them back to the DNR. So
And you have references on these folks, you said?
yeah. So I have Valhalla Country Club, Champaign Country Club, and Mystic Hills. Mystic Hills is going to be one that's probably going to be the hard one to check on, just because of.
He's
It actually just.
I know the
sold,
new
so I don't
Yes,
even know.
there you go.
I know the new one.
Do they actually have it? I don't know if they're keeping it open or not. I know it's permanently
I
closed.
don't
It
know
says on the
either.
website right now.
Yeah.
So
And these golf courses are
they're all
Valhalla and
top,
Champaign
top
are
notch.
like
Yeah.
top-notch golf courses. Valhalla's,
So,
I've heard
they play
of it.
majors there on the PGA
yeah.
Tour.
So I mean,
So I mean, these are real deal golf courses.
and that's from the lady herself. I told her to give me some references in the Midwest, that we're at, so she can kind of, 'cause she's over in North Carolina, they're all over the place. There's a bunch in Florida, a bunch in California, on the East Coast, but so that's kind of closest to our neck of the woods. Champagne's like what, an hour from here, an hour and a half maybe?
Champaign Urbana,
No, Champaign, Illinois.
Illinois.
that's
Yeah, like
Champaign Urbana area.
yeah,
Did you
Illinois,
say
an hour and a
they're
half from here or
They
something.
open now?
What no, country clubs ain't open right.
No,
They
none
won't
of
be
these
open
golf courses
until-
are probably open
Okay.
right now.
I
We're
got-
we're the only golf course open.
Yeah, don't expect them.
Literally,
open until
within a
April,
50-mile
April
radius.
15th.
Well, I think it's
We are
a
the
good
only golf
idea.
course open.
Okay.
Hamlet's not open yet?
Nobody's open. Within a 50-mile radius, nobody's open.
As long as we have funding for this, I would motion, that we go forward.
Yes, but, with the stipulation, like you said, the dog's taken care of, the
Yeah.
run,
Yeah,
housing.
housing. So in that $1,500 a year, they'll pay for, that's housing, vet, food, everything it needs.
And
So
you're gonna be number one responsible.
yes, I will be the primary handler of that dog. Yes, so, and we'll work some stuff out with it, you know, like I had that lady insure me, cause I explained to her, I said, look, we're, you know, weekends especially, you know, she said, take the dog home on the
Holidays.
weekends. Yeah, you know, we only come in on the weekends, we're only here for 3-4 hours, if that. We just come in, mow the greens, and we're gone.
Well, you guys know the responsibilities. of
Yeah,
dog-
yeah, so,
Your dog owners.
yeah, so, I mean, worst case scenario, you know, it'll just come home with us for the day, or it'll hang out there for the day. As long as it has food and water.
He
and
herds up
outside.
your kids
Yeah, yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, no, my dogs, all my dogs have pretty much been healthy. I mean, we lost our last dog and she was 16. So, I mean, she runs pretty.
Okay, I think we have a motion, we have a
They're
second.
paid, but I love them.
All in favor?
Forget it's the mayor.
Motion carried 4-0. And can we call it Lucy?
Oh, yeah, who gets to name it?
I don't know if it comes with a name or if we get
I
a
don't
name.
But it comes with the
Mail.
name.
I would venture
You
to say
get
it probably
options.
comes with a
It's
name
your
because they
choice.
start
Me
training better.
personally, I'd probably rather have a female.
You don't like Lucy?
I would rather have a female.
I'd rather have a
too.
female
They're
than a
more-
male any day of the week.
I would rather have a
I got two males at home and they're a pain.
Males
And they
pains.
come fixed too, so they don't have to worry about them, anything like that. They come fully, they'll have all their records from the time they're born till the time you get it. Oh, and she said, like I said, 95% of their dogs are 10+ years of work. So, I mean, that's a pretty good history of it. And they're champion breed dogs. So you're not getting just a puppy.
Is there, I guess maybe it's too late for this question. Is there a stipulation if this dog doesn't work?
Nah, I didn't ask any of that. I expect
Okay.
dog to work. Yeah, dog, you know.
I mean, I know.
I mean, it's
dog
coming
wants
fully
to work.
trained. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if it would be different, like if we did the $3,500 dog that we actually had to train,
Yeah.
that I wouldn't be down. I would
Okay.
not, because I don't have time for that.
Right.
So, but as long as it comes fully trained and it doesn't chase golfers, which she ensured that these dogs are 100% work focused. They don't care about anything else except chasing these geese off the course, and that's it. They ride in the golf cart, they get out of the golf cart, they get back in the golf cart. That's what they do. And you just ride them around. Or you can send them off. So she's going to come out. She said there's commands you can give them where the dog will know exactly where to go. So you just give it a command or straight over to that spot and clear them all out and come back. So,
Okay.
yeah, that's kind of one of the options. So you want me to dive into it a little bit deeper? And
Well, we've made the motion, so
we got
if you're from.
I'll
feel
take it if
comfortable.
it doesn't work out.
I would say, as long as one of us gets it.
Sorry, one thing.
so.
Okay. Is that it, Anthony?
Yeah, and one other thing, it had to do with the equipment, just real quick. So on this equipment here, we got approval of like, I think it was like 100,000 for equipment. Now, there's gonna be times where I can't wait for a meeting. You know, where a piece of equipment comes up that we need that kind of help out alleviate some of the costs from the next year or two. I'll just need some kind of approval, call somebody, you guys put your heads together, give me a vote versus me waiting a month. If I wait a month, it's an exploding offer and I probably will miss out on it.
What we do in the city is if that's in their budget, we can actually do that for the Board of Works, most likely, I would think. We do that with a lot of other things, other equipment, capital expenditures, which meets every 2 weeks.
Okay.
So, if it's in the budget now, if it exceeds the budget, it has to come before this board because you guys have approved the budget.
Right.
Yeah.
Right,
So-
okay. So he could even come to the Board of Works if we weren't having and then.
Yeah, just so some governing entity is aware,
Okay,
Yeah.
it's not outside the budget line, we're good.
right, okay. You wouldn't mind?
I mean, it's,
As long as he stays within his budget.
yeah, I mean, with the used equipment, it makes it a lot easier to be able to say, hey, here, and get it.
You know, copy of the-
Yeah, I just,
Give it to the Beth.
yeah, Dwayne sent me the one, yeah, we, what was it, 100, right? We were
100,000.
equipment, yeah, so that's what we have to work with. So,
Okay.
and so, but that's all I got.
I think it would still be, typically you can find comparable options.
Yeah.
So I know you mentioned the used equipment, sometimes you can't get a second bid, you can get a comparable option.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you have something in
Oh,
writing.
yeah,
with that.
yeah. I can get you like a Jacobson, John Deere.
Well, I mean,
Toro,
even
or-
something like a marketplace or something.
Oh, yeah,
similar.
yeah. It'll give you a listing
It'll show
price.
us kind of an
Yep.
idea of, hey, this is a
Yeah.
decent deal compared to something else.
Yes, 100%.
And Mitch helped you out and found somebody to do some work?
Yes. He helped me out with getting the tractor fixed. New Holland tried
Saved you
to
a lot of money?
pull one over on it. Yeah.
Ah.
They wanted
Well, I mean, you got these equipment dealers, two things. Equipment sales have been down
Mhm.
because farming's been down. They're making it up in shop work. I don't know what they're charging. It's probably better than $100 an hour.
Okay.
in shop
It was
work, or maybe it
$175 an hour.
could be, yeah.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me. So what you found was a
Yeah,
great option.
it was $4,800 to them just to break it in half. $2,000 to break it in half and fix. So we'll fix it for $3,500. So we'll save
That's great.
$1,500 before we even New Holland even cracked the thing open. So
Great.
I couldn't justify that amount of money. I just couldn't. So
Thank
yeah,
you.
that's all I got. Anybody think anything else? Okay.
Right.
I don't have too much. We will be starting our part-time, our season guys for the parks next week. And, also with the bathrooms, right now, the 10-day forecast is we've got a couple days still gonna be below freezing. Once we get past this 10-day, and we know that we've got some solid above freezing days, and we'll look at getting the bathrooms reopened so we don't have any freezing issues. And then Landon has all the new picnic tables put together and out. So that's kept him kind of busy this winter to get all those done. So, and that's all I have right now, unless you have any questions on anything.
Mhm.
Hey, did they ever give a tree report? Park City Park and golf course?
Tree report, they did their inventory. I have not seen the report yet as far as like how many trees and.
Yeah, they was out there grading them or something. I talked to the guy,
Right.
said he'd do the park and the golf course.
They just had their meeting last week. I watched that since I was out of pocket. I watched it on the live stream and was communicating through Amy. But I know it's done. I haven't seen it. I don't know is there anything in particular you want to know out of that?
No, I just wonder what they found, because out there at the park, that's where the majority of the oak trees are in this town.
Right.
And you know how they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, so I don't know what kind of grades they gave any of the trees. And what I do know is when they do it, it gives like a grade as far as like whether we should be really concerned about getting this one cut down, or if it can, if it's got some damage, but it's going to be fine for now. I know that's kind of the way it's graded out. So
I don't know if they give a report on the dead limbs in it. Does it need to be removed or the whole 9 yards?
I don't think they go that deep into it. They identify what kind of tree it is, and then they give it a score of what kind of shape it is.
So you take care of the limbs.
Yep. And we did some of that last fall. Street department went out and we did some trimming.
Okay, leaves. City Park,
Yep.
looks bad.
Once we get the guys online, we'll get her
And
started.
also, at the golf course, the golf shack, the cart shack,
Yes.
need to clean the eaves out. Or otherwise we'll be replacing a bunch of wood. And I talked to Brandon about that later last year,
Okay.
so.
All right.
And I mentioned this to you, and so if you guys want to take a look at it before he says yes or no, but where the old buildings are at by the pool, those pine trees are just the nastiest, dirtiest things. And they're growing into the light lines, and there's always needles, and they try and wash their balls there. So I wondered if we just couldn't have those removed. We talked about it briefly. but
Sure.
I wondered, they're just nasty trees. I mean, I don't like to cut down trees, but these are like growing into the building and then, so.
Okay.
And, where the sign is at, the pool sign, that tree there, if there's a limb that goes clear over to the parking lot, I mean, I don't wanna get rid of the tree, but when you guys get time, I know you're gonna be really busy, but if they could just kind of prune it up a little bit, it's just a dirty tree, but they do use it for shade and,
Right,
if it could just be trimmed up a little bit.
okay.
Then the only thing I have is, those pieces that we ordered, the American, the two American flags, the standing soldier and, the Indiana torch is ready to be picked up.
So Jessica?
All right, I want to let you guys know that you were awarded the township grant for 2,500 for JC Park.
That's fun.
Yep, that's from the Community Foundation. I'm also working on an impact grant that is due March 12th. So with that, I printed off, and you guys have copies of it. I highlighted the items. Kim and I had met, and I just needed your guys' approval and just make sure everybody was on the same page. It didn't ask for an itemized list, but we did put one together to just so I could, for what the amount was. So the amount was 41,900. That's the requested amount for the grant. And on the second page for that is what each thing costs, like the sidewalks, electrical. What I'm asking for today is, are those the items you want me to list in the grant that this grant would be used for JC Park? It would be the ADA sidewalks, security cameras, the electric line, signage, and then I did have iron benches, but I had Tammy edit to make sure my writing was okay, and she did mention that you'll be picking benches, and then picnic tables are separate. So I'm not sure what I'm not sure what that meant. So are you wanting benches or picnic tables?
Benches.
Benches.
There's benches.
Oh, I put iron picnic benches.
You put iron
Okay,
picnic
yeah, see
benches.
that?
Yeah.
Okay, now I see what, I was like, I didn't
Combine
understand that.
them.
Yeah, okay, so iron benches is what you did.
Yeah.
So I just need to confirm that those are the items you want me to list. At the bottom of that, it just says what each thing are, that's why it totals up to that amount. And then one thing I need with that is an estimated number of people served at that location. I didn't have that, did you have that?
I did get that.
I can get it from
I
you
forgot to send it to you.
tomorrow at least. It's due
Yeah.
by the 12th, so I can get it in. The other thing is, are you guys a 501c3?
That's nonprofit.
Right.
We're nonprofit.
Okay, so then I don't need to ask you the next question then.
But we're a government entity. I think we need to confirm that, I guess.
Yeah.
I thought that was here too.
I don't think we're a 501(c)(3).
No.
Yeah,
Government.
No.
okay. It just asked if you were, they need a designation letter. So if you're not, then we don't have to fill that part out. But this grant, was a lot easier, didn't have any itemized lists. It just asked what it was for and how much. So, and then I also had the total project as 400,000 for JC Park as a complete total. But yeah, so from what I need from you guys are those the items that you guys would like to list for the grant? And then I can have it filled out as soon as I get the number of people served, I can get it turned in. And then it's due April 12th, so I'm assuming they'll be having a meeting shortly after that and then they'll send me an email, let me know if you guys what you've been awarded. So.
Okay, something that I'm reading right here that was from Andy. It says the park board definitely cannot vote by email. You're a non-profit board of directors.
Yeah, well, you're not a 501c3.
Yeah, there's different nonprofits.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not good on that stuff, so.
Is that what that said? Because I thought I was wrong because we're not a nonprofit.
You're just a different type of nonprofit.
Yeah.
what I'm reading.
Yeah.
We're a government entity.
We just need,
Right.
I'll clarify with either Beth
Okay.
or somebody who, and see what kind we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so that is it for the impact. The other grants that are out there, I'm gonna be looking into are the DNR grants, Duke Energy, and the Everwise. We did miss the March 1st one, but I wouldn't have been able to get approval from you guys.
Right.
So the next one's June 1st, so I'll have that all prepared for the next, one of the next meetings before June 1st and see what you guys wanna apply for, what it's for and all that. And then Bryce had emailed everybody about, or at least emailed Kim and I about a, hold it up here, print it off. It's a. Sorry. The patronicity grant. So this is a $5 to 50,000 cash matching grant. So you set a goal, you set a target goal and then, let's see. So we do fundraising, then we have to meet that goal. And then I think that's if Bryce says if we don't raise that amount, we still owe that much.
You
Is that
don't
what?
owe it, you just don't get the match.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So you
So
have to.
say
meet
it's
up
a
that
$5,000 to $50,000 cash
$5,000.
matching. So say you set your goal for 50,000, but you only got 40, they're not gonna give you 40,000. You have to hit your 50,000. So it kind of makes you set your goal realistic to what you think you can hit. So if it's 20,000, you set for 20. They can leave it open and you can fundraise past that because it's just an easy way to get your information out. But yeah, once you hit your goal, then they'll match that.
But there is a deadline on that, right?
No, not really. You can start that right now, but then you guys set your deadline.
Oh, okay.
You can set it for a month. You can set it for, you can do 2 months. And so you can run your campaign for as long as you guys want to.
Okay.
Yeah, I did send the email to Tammy as well to have her read through. She's a little bit better editing and stuff than I am, so she was able to read through. I don't know if you got how far you got through that, Tammy.
There was a lot of information. I think I only got through the first 2 attachments. Yeah. So I'm halfway through.
So if that's something you guys want to, put on your radar of like kind of thinking about what you guys want, goal you want to set, the timeline, and then what type of fundraiser we can do, or multiple if we need to.
And I would definitely just recommend getting in touch with Bridget. She's on there and I introduce you guys. I would just get a call set up with her and she can definitely instruct you kind of talk about where you guys are at and what you want to do, and she'll get you guys set on the right path.
Yeah, that would help out a lot.
Yeah. And I know it's been done, and once people use it once, they're like, we're gonna use this again and again and again. So been done all the time.
Like maybe we're doing this golf fundraiser, which I'm going to announce next. Could we use that as like a first fundraiser to where maybe, because last year we raised up to 14,000. Say we did 10,000 realistic, being realistic.
And what did you ask me?
So maybe we could do like, coming up would be Swing for the Parks, which is the golf scramble. So
There
maybe
at the same time.
you could say 10,000 would be your goal, you get a $10,000 match, because last year we got 14,000.
Excellent idea.
Or you go 15.
You could go
I would go-
15. I feel like we could do even better here with.
Yeah, that's.
I think if people know that it's gonna get cash matched as well, people are more inclined to be like, oh yeah, let's really hit that goal because it's.
Yeah, that's a great
Yeah,
idea.
if you use that as part of your marketing.
Yeah, you're like, if we hit this goal, we get that much matched.
Yeah.
So your gift is really doubled.
Right.
And that makes people like, oh.
Cool.
Yeah, that's
I
a
love
good
that
tool.
idea. Right.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and go into Swing for the Parks. I went ahead and started getting everything kind of around. I don't have the flyer and all that done yet. That's what I'm gonna spend March doing, kind of getting the marketing ready, the press release, all of that. The date is June 12th. Shotgun start at 8, teams check in or shotgun at 9, teams check in at 8. I do have the golf cart is included, and breakfast and lunch this year. Is that something you guys wanted to do, or did you just want to stick with lunch?
Go with the breakfast. That was a big mistake of mine last. Leanne kept on telling me we need breakfast. And then when you had yours, you had breakfast. Somebody had breakfast.
I had donuts.
Yeah, just
Breakfast.
donuts,
Granola bars.
not,
Good
not,
breakfast.
That's kind of
Scrambled
breakfast.
Yeah, just some kind of something, cause that was a long time for people to wait, and I kept on trying to be cheap about it. And so I learned from yours. We should have some donuts, even just
Or
a little
granola
round
bars
Dunkin'
or something.
Donuts or something.
It wasn't very expensive to have them.
Yeah, yeah.
It would be.
I did create the registration form. I'll have Tammy edit it, make sure, Kim, I took in consideration of the redundancy of asking if it's okay to text them and some of that stuff. So I put like the contact information at the top. And then it's the same form whether you're filling out, for a team registration, whole sponsor, donation raffle, or volunteer. So last year I had multiple forms and I think it was too confusing for everybody. So you don't have to you fill out the contact information and then you go down to your section of, because you could be a team spot or team registration and a full sponsor. So it'd be easier if it's all on the same form.
Is that all by doing that little?
There'll be paper as well, so,
Okay.
but they have to go to I just talked to Lee, we just got that taken care of. You
Yes.
have to go to the Round Barn Golf Course to print out, he'll have applications there. There'll be paper and then he'll just send it to you or I.
And then the ones that I go to personally, I would like them, they can fill them out and I'll just drop.
Yes, yep, I'll send you
Yeah,
the link to
that's
have it
great.
printed out.
You had a problem with that too.
Well, some people just don't want to go online and fill it out.
Well-
I would not use, I'm not using the QR code this year. I am strictly having one email address response back to a one location, QR codes and online registration.
It keeps it very automated on my end though, and it.
I know it
puts into
does,
the
but
Spreadsheet.
I lost-
You just scan it with your phone, it's not.
I had
know,
people.
but I lost some people. People
And
didn't
they
come.
too.
Well, that's why there's both options, so.
They
Okay,
have
And
yeah,
then
let's
they
do
have
this
to,
option then.
the money has to be mailed or dropped off at City Hall. Round Barn will not take any. So-
Right, and I'll just bring mine here and Leanne's.
And so with that, I also put in the description that, you, in the memo, put Swing for the Parks 2026 and to include the person's contact information, because I think there was some confusion of last year who paid for
Mhm.
what, so.
Mhm.
The deadline, Lee said June 7th would be fine.
June 7th, okay, okay.
And then, team fees are 260 per 4 people per team. And then whole sponsors are 200. I will reach back, I need to write the proposal that I had for last year, just rewrite it for this year to reach out to everybody that did participate last year, so then we can contact them, we'll have a list, and then who would be going around and handing out flyers, talking to businesses, please.
Me and Leanne.
Okay.
And anybody else that wants to join us.
Okay, when I get the flyer done, I'll make sure to send you a copy. We can have some printed, I can get some quotes on that, or whatever you guys wanna do.
So we have a Sunday,
Friday.
June 7th.
Oh, that's the June 12th is the scramble, and then the
okay.
cutoff date for registration would be the 7th. He said as long as he had them by that Sunday, that would be fine.
Did you guys have any problem getting receipts back to people that contributed?
A little bit. A little
I
bit.
did too, so that's the other, and part of that came through the QR code misunderstanding, so. I mean, know how you gotta, to
It
make
says
sure,
in the description what they need to do, so they just
to
gotta.
get a receipt for their contribution.
Someone should probably write them a receipt at City Hall to communicate with them. I mean, I don't know who, they're the only ones taking money, so.
Well,
If Kim, if you're going around
if you,
collecting,
if
you
you've
need to have a
got
receipt book.
Sure, just write it out.
somebody from Kim, not City Hall, somebody from this park
Yeah.
board, need to write the receipts.
Sure, I can do that.
I'll make sure to put that in there to collect, or email us or something.
I can just get a book and write them all out and make sure that I mail them to them or hand deliver them to. I think the Steno was the only one that requested a receipt that didn't get one, but I got one to Hyatt and different people like that. Yeah, okay.
Then next month and next month in May, we'll go over kind of what the volunteers will be doing, what games you guys wanna have. We don't have to worry about that right now, but
Right.
I'll have everything ready by the next board meeting and then we can start announcing it. I need some time to get everything.
Right. I have raffle tickets left over. So
We'll do another raffle and.
yeah, I'll get with Leanne because she was, how many we needed and it worked out well. So I think I probably have enough for that. And then, if you guys would be interested, if you would want to go around and get anybody that would want to do any kind of a donation, a t-shirt, whatever, because then in the raffle, then everybody gets something. So we did that also. Bryce gave me like 10 shirts and that helped. And, so just,
So raffle, swag, so to speak,
Yeah.
raffle stuff.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
raffle
Yeah,
donations.
yeah.
is just-
Yeah, if you know somebody, they'd be like, oh, I know, they'd give you a jacket or something.
We did different
We've
stuff
done
last
that.
year. There was gift baskets,
Yes.
or there was like a game or something someone
Yes.
donated.
Yeah.
Yeah, gift cards, those are the
Yes.
easy, especially if you're gonna support local
Yeah.
businesses.
And Play Pros is gonna come.
Awesome. But I was fun last year, just really
It was.
cold. But we'll be doing it in June, so middle of May. Did you send like a couple holes? Oh, man. Okay, so that is all I have for that. Oh, and then today, I'm working on the, registration for Summer Parks Program. Lindsay asked me to get that ready for her, and then I made the flyer, and we're gonna have the first post going out this week. Registration is open. But what I also did was I purchased, the domain for Summer Parks Program with Bill. Summerparksprogram.com is available, and that's good for branding, so she could separate the branding, even though it goes back to our website. It's just easier to say Summer Parks Program than Rochester Park / blah, blah, blah. I also found that, I purchased RochesterCityPool.com. That was also available. So now the city pool can brand separately saying, go to RochesterCityPool.com, and that also goes back to the same website.
Okay.
So there's not multiple websites going, everything goes to, that drives more traffic and analytics up for our website.
Okay,
And those are $11 each, so.
okay.
And then, one more thing with Swing for the Parks, with press release distribution, do you guys want me to get quotes for the newspaper, shopper's guide, radio station, or do you guys wanna put ads out in there?
I think the shopper's guide for sure. I don't know what you guys think about the Sentinel. What do you
Maybe
think?
the
They're not
radio
even
station,
open.
but not the Sentinel.
Okay,
Yeah, and then maybe something on the radio.
That's my,
And-
yeah,
yeah.
that's
Radio
Like
and
what we
opinion.
did last
Guide.
year, worked out really well.
okay, I'll get quotes and I'll have those by the next meeting, and then we can go from there. And that is all I have.
Okay.
Now, I just want to piggyback. Last meeting, we had a discussion about additional hours and whatnot.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
And I want to touch on that because I remember when we first hired you, and it was basically for media-based only. And since we've hired you, you've been tasked with grant writing, fundraising, summer parks program, light up the park, just to name a few.
Yeah.
So even when we hired you, that wasn't what we hired you for.
So you
So-
hired me as a marketing, my services were there, but I just wasn't doing all that then. So, but now that we've added to, and I'm just running out of hours, like today I'm already at 4 out of 5 hours after today.
Right,
Because I've already worked 2 earlier today before I came
Right.
into this meeting.
right. And I got everything cleared with Beth, so somebody just needs to make a motion.
I'd make a motion. Go ahead, repeat what you wanted. You
So,
wanted 3 extra hours?
yes, so with 42 weeks remaining, if we started this week, that would be an increase of 8,190 for the remainder of the year. And I'm just proposing this for till December, and then we can reevaluate to see if, if that was needed or if I still need more, which I only put 10, just because that's just based on my schedule is all I can really handle. So the increase would be 8,190 for the rest of the year.
But that's 3 extra hours a week.
Yes, yes, and I think that's kind of, I've seen where I'm needing just a few more hours to get some stuff done.
I second that,
Okay,
if you already.
Yeah, I make a motion to let her up to 3 extra hours a week.
Yeah, I second that.
okay. All in favor? Okay,
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for all you do. You've done more than we've asked you to do, so thank you.
Thank you.
okay. So I was asked by Jane, the prices for our pool this year, if they were gonna stay the same. It's $5 a person right now. It's $45 an individual to buy the season pass. It's $40 a person per family. So I know like at Plymouth, their pool, it's an inside pool, it's $7. And so I think we're good where we're at, but I don't make the decision, so you guys
I'll
talk
make a
about it.
motion, we keep.
Well, let me make sure, do you, Ed?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do anything without Lori because she's the pool manager and she has a better insight than I do.
I talked to her
sitting
about
here.
it.
Okay,
She's the one that
I think
said, let the board decide. She felt like we were good, but if we wanted to go up $1, that'd
If
be
the
okay.
indoor is $7. I mean, I think 5 is reasonable for
I do
the
too.
seasonal,
Okay,
you know.
okay, so that answers your
Wow.
question.
Now, I think you're getting a new pool manager. I keep seeing these ads in the paper.
well, we're gonna talk
We're-
about that
that's
here in
on
just a
the
little bit.
agenda.
so.
Okay,
Okay,
I'll make a motion, we keep the pool prices the same.
I just want to make sure I wouldn't.
okay, could I have a second?
I second it.
Okay. all in favor?
All right, you're right. It should have been voted.
I tried to pay attention.
Okay, I can.
Sure. All right, so, I talking about the pool manager. We ran an ad and, we ran it for pool manager and assistant pool manager. The cutoff was this past Friday. And we discussed as a board that, well, Tammy and I and, Mitch, we discussed that, with the hiring process, I personally didn't feel comfortable doing interviews while the application process was open. So the application closed on Friday. We held, 3 people applied for manager, 3 for assistant manager. We held all those interviews yesterday. The reason we held them via the phone was because not everybody was in, but we was able to get a hold of everybody, get an appointment set up. And, we held all of our interviews. And Mitch went through, well, we all went through the applications. And I tell you what, this goes to you, Trent. Man, we got a bunch of great people in our community. And I mean, I thought it would be an easy decision, but I tell you what, it was, man, we got some great people. And even though they may not have been picked for this position, I tell you what, they could definitely do a lot of good for our community if we ever have openings anywhere else. So, I mean, there's a lot of great people in our community. So,
Can I say something real
Yes.
quick? Because we didn't say about me, because Lori and I are friends, we're actually just friends during the pool time or whatever, but I just took myself out of it because kind of, got accused last time a little bit that I was friends with her, so I just pulled myself out of voting on either one of them so that we don't have that, okay?
okay. So what I would, Tammy, Mitch, did you guys have anything to add about the interview process?
No.
Nope.
Okay, and, I would recommend that we would go with manager and then each one of us says who we want as manager. I don't think it's important to say who we didn't select or anything like that.
Right.
So, for pool manager, I selected Lori for me. Lori Sampson.
Okay,
By Simpson, I believe it is.
Yeah, Sam,
Is it Simpson or Simpson?
Simpson.
Simpson,
Yeah.
okay.
Make sure I have the right name. Yeah, I agree. We were in total agreement on that.
So did,
And I agree.
okay, so,
Right, a motion to, accept Lori as the pool manager.
Second that.
okay, all in favor?
Right.
Okay.
Now, were you abstaining?
Yes.
Yes.
Then you don't vote.
Oh, sorry, yeah, take that away. 3, oh, good catch.
And then the assistant manager was the same. We had 3 people apply for that. And, this was real gut
This
wrenching.
was-
Yeah. But I decided with Jacob Freeman for my selection.
As did I.
Mitch,
I
I'm
agree.
staying out of it. You guys finish it.
I motion that we accept Jacob Freeman for the assistant technical manager position.
Second it.
All in favor? Okay. Okay, so that's all we've got to do on that. So, now, we'll go to that. Did we already do that? We voted that we're just gonna keep the prices the same on the.
Yes, we did
Okay,
that.
sorry. All right, Okay, so the next thing is, had a little bit confusion on here and I apologize. When you go and I go to Beth and I say, I need an amount that we can spend on, you know, the pool or the park or whatever, when she gives me that, that is like, I'll take, for instance, when we did the pool and we got quotes for it, that was for, the pool, the liner, the gutters, that's it. That's what that money is for. Anything else that we needed added, like the ADA, handicapped ADA or a water fountain or whatever, that can come out of the line item. So that's how that works. It's just for the park. So we got approved for $300,000 for the new playground, and that included you know, everything that we wanted to use on it. So then the other thing that I asked her, because Ed had said that he would like a bathroom. So I asked her if we get some prices on a bathroom, what can we use out of the budget? And she said that we could use up to 50,000 for a bathroom. So there was confusion in that. So I went to Beth and she asked, I met her at her house and I went out and I probably didn't do the best job, but the best job I could was guessing where things were. This is not a quote. This is just kind of a roundabout figures so that we have some idea what we're talking about. And so the ADA sidewalks, me saying to go over to the zip line, to go one to the bathroom, one to the pavilion. I went over and showed them, give me a ballpark figure, doesn't have to be perfect, just so we have some kind of an idea. So that was like $8,000 to do that. I talked to Dwayne, 2 cameras is 20,000. Then I found out we need an electric line. That is by Duke. Will they come in and do that?
I've talked to Duke today. I'm waiting to hear back from an engineer that I have to meet with. We'll go over, show them what we want, where we want it. And then once we have that, then they'll let us know how much it's gonna cost to put the power to the bathroom.
Okay, so then, Ed had asked about a doggy station. Did you see if you had one?
I did not check on that,
But that's $199. I just guess, I don't know how many, benches that you guys would like, but I just put in $800. I think that would cover at least 2 benches at the park. So Jesse and I at the last minute worked on the community foundation. They gave us $2,500, so we could use that for the benches and the dog station. I didn't do anything on the sign yet. So I have quotes on the bathrooms. I got 2 quotes here, so I was gonna open them up if you guys want me to.
Okay, first, real quick.
Uh-huh.
You know, the one thing that I want to get, you know, and you reference what Ed wants, the thing is we never voted on any of this stuff.
So it's not what Ed wants, it's what we as a board agreed upon.
Well,
And,
yeah,
and that's the
same
thing that we've never voted on any of this
Right,
stuff.
right.
So I mean, I think before we go forward, we should vote on what we need in the park. So when Jessica puts in the grant, because if we come back and say, well, we didn't vote on that, or that's something that this person wanted, but we don't even have a list over everything that we agreed upon except for the playground equipment.
Now, the dog station and the grill, because there's no grill over there, that was already, the dog waste station was already voted on during the grill time. So back a while ago, and the thing is it's less than, I mean, it's just a couple $100.
Right.
But we voted that at the same time we voted for the grills, because that was
Okay.
one of the things that I
Sorry
said that
about
we
that.
need over there.
Okay,
So really, Dwayne, you could make sure, I'm not sure if you have an extra grill.
Well, actually, I told Kim, I thought we might have the doggy thing
Mm,
already.
there
and-
was something I forgot.
And the grills, I was thinking that we were gonna make sure we had at least one grill at each one of the pavilions that didn't have one. So if it's not there, then yeah, we probably still have it and haven't put it in yet.
Hey, Ken.
Well, another thing, excuse me. The electrical. Are we gonna add some lights? We have no idea other than from
I
the
have-
pole to the bathroom.
Yeah, we have to have light.
You gotta have lights for the cameras. You gotta have power to the cameras,
I've got all that.
Right.
not for
Yeah.
$10,000.
No, it's 20,000.
So the 10,000,
Just the cameras.
that was an estimate just to get power to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And so
you're
then,
gonna put everything in conduit. Okay? And you gotta figure out how many lights you're gonna have and all that stuff. And $10,000 is not gonna get it,
all that's for is to get power to
It's
the
just
bathroom.
electrical.
just to the bathroom.
Right. And then for the cameras, and now what we haven't added was, we're also gonna have to have internet access there.
Mhm, right.
So there'll be some type of cost from RTC to set up so that we have Wi-Fi out there
Right.
for the cameras.
It'll be attached to the bathroom.
Right.
Mhm.
And the
Okay,
can
something
grill
that
or
I
something.
didn't
Yeah.
tell you is that Beth and I went through, and on the cameras, the line item operating and supplies, that's where that would come from, so that's covered. The sidewalk and electric line, that comes out of maintenance and repair. So when I say that the quote is 300,000 for the playground, and then we go to our line items, we already have them covered, we have the money. And I've talked to Dwayne about that, he is, yes, that's not a problem, so we can still go for these grants, and if we get them, then we can use it, but if we, don't, I mean, we have the money there to go ahead and do all the stuff. And then the other thing is, that through Community Foundation, the Golf Scramble, Jesse came on board, we started doing grants. We actually brought in $61,000, and we haven't even started on those yet, which she is now, so we're gonna be having more money come in. But as far as, all this other stuff, I've included it all, she's given me the line items, I talked to Dwayne about it. A couple of things you just mentioned, with RTC, we'll have to get the internet. I don't have that included in there. And the other thing I don't have included is, you're talking about lights. Are you talking about Mitch lights that are up on poles?
This is
or do-
additional lighting, because when Dwayne and I went over there, was looking at the park, the guy said, there's vandalism going on over here.
Right.
And I was gonna set up my own camera, but you guys need some extra lights here because it's
Right.
dark.
Okay,
So we're talking extra additional lighting, like in our city park, there's lights throughout. So that's a whole different
yeah, that's a
thing that
light
we've
pole
never
and a
even
light
done.
there. And then lights on, we could put lights on the pavilion because we're gonna run electricity there. And then light over off of the bathroom, there'll be a place that we could use that electricity there.
Those are really kind of incidental. I mean, when you compare that to the total cost of the upgrade, those are things that we can fit into our budget. We have a line item for improvements other than buildings. And I mean, there's places that we can pull that money. So if we don't have everything down to the nail, I think we're still gonna be okay because there's other places we can pull that.
Okay,
So,
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't wanna give everybody the grand idea that, hey, we're gonna get this all done for 10 grand.
well, no, well, like I say,
I mean,
and so,
That's a, here,
right, so
Same
like,
way with the bathroom, you don't know what that's gonna cost. You
right,
don't know, what the sidewalks are gonna cost.
I do. Approximately
That-
8,000, I did.
Yeah.
Jessica, you're back there.
Yeah, well, as I'm thinking about the impact grant that you guys are talking about, these line items, if you're gonna use some of that, the 2,500 for some of these items, do I need to change the numbers? Because if you just talked about using it, 25, or using some of it for the signage and the benches, but I have for the impact grant to ask about, or to inquire. for-
Maybe take the benches off of that one because the $2,500, do you, would
Well, I have the
cover
benches
that.
Well,
3,600, so I can just subtract it.
Or that,
Yeah, so for the total, it doesn't ask me for the line items, but we put in the description that it's going to the benches. We could still leave benches in there, but I would probably need to change the price.
When does that, grant?
I'm assuming it's very soon because it's due the 12th, so I'm.
Oh, okay,
Yes, that's
great.
what I was
So
asking.
it would be, yeah, that would work, that would be awesome.
I didn't know if I needed to reduce the number on the benches if you're gonna use the grant they just gave you guys for that. So do I need to change that number?
Well, we can, I mean, we can use it towards the lighting and stuff like that.
I don't know, $2,500 isn't gonna go that far, I mean,
Bryce, when last time Bryce was here, we already made a motion and approved to buy 3 benches.
the benches, yeah.
So that's already been approved.
No,
No,
we do not
there's no
have
mention
that
on
in
that.
the drawing. and-
Oh.
No,
we just
we
looked
did
at
it
it.
afterwards and we made a motion, if we look back in our minute. I think we made a motion and approved to purchase 3 benches.
I know we looked at them.
I don't think we would have
That
done
wasn't
that
in
without a
contract.
price.
That we
Well,
said
Breck
we
gave
would
us a price.
purchase the
No.
benches.
Right.
No, we did not do prices on
I
benches.
don't think I did prices on benches yet.
We talked about it.
No, we just said we needed 3 more benches.
Yeah, he said he needed, I was only.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
I have to fill out like a,
Sure.
report after to see
Right.
what you guys use this
Right,
grant for.
right,
So
sure.
if we're saying like, hey, we just asked for 3,600 for benches, but you just said you used 2,500 over here.
Right, I understand that. Yes, yes. So is there,
I mean, I can just reduce the 2,500 from the 3,600.
okay.
And it's, because it doesn't ask me specifically what it goes for,
Oh,
but after we're gonna say, hey, we used it for this, they're gonna
Okay.
be like, well, you said you were
Sure.
using it this.
Right. Yeah.
I can just reduce 2,500 from the total. And then it could still fluctuate. I mean, you could use, if you got 20,000, you could still use it just for the security cameras.
Okay,
I just have to report back what you.
Okay, sure.
I didn't want to say that we're using it for here and here,
Okay.
but there's,
Right.
just asking for too
Yeah.
much.
And so what we would do, if that was awarded, then what we do is, as we started accumulating those bills, then those costs would be assign those costs to the grant. And if there's anything up and above that, then we can pull that from
okay.
our line item.
That's perfect. That's great. Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't want to duplicate asking.
Sure, yeah, right.
It doesn't have to be used for benches at all, but if you're gonna say that you possibly use it for benches and then you used it for benches on the other grant, I didn't want there be any like confusion or anything like that,
Okay.
so just wanted to make sure.
So I have, 2 bids on the bathrooms that, I worked with Dwayne a lot. What we did was we found a bathroom and we kind of sort of used their layout. We contacted the company, but didn't have any luck back getting their blueprints. So, I did reach out to one person that does this and her price was $1,600 and maybe she could do it in 6 weeks. And so I was kind of whining a little bit about that. Went to another person, they didn't even have time. And so, I mentioned to Larry, asked him, do you know of somebody that could do this reasonable? And he said, you already know I have a drawing board. So he said, I want to help you guys out. I'll just do it for $150. So I went to Dwayne and he's like, run with it. So that's where that came from, that $150. Saved us about $1,500. So I have these 2 quotes. We have 50,000 that Beth said that, we could use towards the bathroom. So the bathroom that I was really pleased about this, and I wish I could have found these people 10 years ago when they did the bathroom at the big park. It would be split face block is what we have at the beach already, which means it has a little bit of design on it. It has a metal roof, 2 metal doors, it has 3 walls inside of it. Foundation has no petitions inside. It has a urinal. I gave you guys all this stuff already. A urinal, a toilet, and a sink. hand soap and deodorant. An overhang, roof, posts, the plumbers, have given their quote on, because they have to come in and when they're doing that foundation, they have to leave a hole and put the, I'm not good at this, put the plumbing through there, then it comes up through the floor. So Dwayne helped me out a lot, Larry helped me out a lot, and then, Larry drew it up. So everything that I've done, I've gone to Dwayne and said, is this okay? Does this look good to you? As far as colors and different things like that, they can, you guys can pick them out. I don't really care. I did pick out just a tan, so it would go off the dark brown roof for the metal roof. It has a V in the front. We're just gonna do metal there, metal inside the bathroom, up on the ceiling. The walls would just be brick, so it just a lot like the bathroom at the beach and the other one that we have at the city park. So I was tickled to death that both of these guys that did have block layers. I think that's way better than a metal building or a wood building, that pretty much can't destroy them. So I have two quotes, two bids. So I'm gonna open them up. The first one is from Luke Connor. I've not seen these. I've not talked to him about it. And it is restaurant package, $72,000. I'll pass that around. There's that one. This one is from Larry Cheadle. His is 45,260. We have a budget of 50,000 for the bathroom. That is, that's complete. That's the plumber. That's the coming in, putting the sinks in, doing all the plumbing, a drain so they can drain it in the wintertime. He went to Gary Math and we made sure that everything was Johnny on the spot for ADA. And so, I think you've already seen this. And so that's his.
Where is it?
Well, you just opened it.
Yeah, so
They
that,
wouldn't have
I mean,
sold
I
it.
think it's the same list of what I gave you before, only it looks a little bit nicer. So his quote is 45,260. I asked him today when he dropped it off, how soon can you start? It'd be nice if, if you guys decide to do this, then we're not tearing up the ground twice, like he can get the line run in there. He wanted to get Jackson's to come and put a metal fence around it like we did the pool for safety. And then he can get with the electric company that can run the line, and he'll get with the sewage and the water. And Bryce would take you over there and draw it all out where everything's at. So then you could do the excavating, removing the pea gravel. And Dwayne saved us a lot of money on that. It was like 18,000 that he saved us by him coming in and digging out stuff. And so that is, and I give you this paper right here. So this is with
Yeah, the Cheeseman, this is
Yeah.
Connor.
yeah. So that price, the sheet that I gave you, that is with the turf and the turf and the fiber where the zip line's at, and the swing sets, the turf just where the play stuff is at. So we have every bit of that covered. actually, there's gonna be some money left over after his price on the bathroom. There'll still be some left over that we can put towards the cameras. Stuff, so. We'll start with you, Mitch. Do you have anything you wanna say?
We're gonna decide that we're gonna do how much money. The bid, the 290. Are we gonna take it as it's written?
Yes. Yes,
You haven't voted on the quotes, have you, or the bids? Bathroom?
No.
No,
They're
no.
quotes, they're
No.
quotes.
okay, so, do you wanna, hear me?
Well, I'm still looking at these. So what is the question?
Oh,
What at hand right now?
okay, the question is, I would like to vote on the bathrooms.
Okay,
I've given you all the blueprints before, all the drawings.
well, I don't, just looking at these, they do not, to me, initially, of course, I've had 2 minutes to look at them, but they don't seem to be apples to apples.
And they may not be totally apples to apples. I have given them the list. Dwayne has seen it.
Okay.
And so I have told them, this is what I want.
Okay, I understand. Then I am not ready to vote on this. I need to look at these.
And you don't have to, or you can take it to those quotes to Gary Madden, have him look at them all or somebody.
One seems to include sidewalks around
And the other one doesn't.
the building, the unit. The other one doesn't. That's quite a.
When we open quotes, we always have an engineer in the audience that has worked these up, and we
Yeah,
let them go through those pretty.
See, I am-
thoroughly.
I would
looked at
not
them,
feel
so-
prepared.
And,
Okay.
well, it has
So-
nothing, this one doesn't have nothing about the electrical.
Yeah, I wouldn't be comfortable making a
Okay,
decision
so
right this
I
second.
would presume that it is Luke's, the higher quote does not have the sidewalk.
No, it does have the sidewalk. Cheeseman's does not, that I
Connors has got
see.
the sidewalk with electrical and all that.
He just talked to me about the sidewalk around it.
Mhm.
And it's got electrical 200 amp feet.
Well, what I'm saying is,
And this one doesn't.
Here, can I see them?
yeah, they are not apples to apples, therefore I'm not prepared for
They're,
that.
they're never all apples to apples. I swear to God, you can stand there and tell them all at the same time and then,
Yeah, I know, I understand. That's not your fault. You gave them the information.
okay, so Larry does not have on here the,
It doesn't have the electrical.
Electrical or a sidewalk around the
okay,
facility.
let me look.
Now, is there any way we could just get a copy of that since we opened it here and take it with
Yeah, I
us
wanna
so we
look
could
at it.
review it instead of
I'll spend
people sitting
20
here for
minutes.
half an hour waiting this stuff?
There's no reason you can't copy it now and take both with you and look it over.
Yeah, that's what I recommend.
Yeah, I'm
is-
not comfortable doing it.
That way we could actually look at it instead of
I'm not an impulse
one
buyer.
copy going around all four of us.
No, I understand
Well, that's
that.
what
I
Connor
just
said,
will call it
right?
extra
Yeah,
meeting
that makes
because
sense.
we need to get this
And
all
electrical.
going at the same time.
Not just the electrical. Oh, but we did. get that.
Yeah. I guess my own, these are great. I mean, when we get quotes, I know they are just quotes. They're good estimates, but I'm always concerned with any kind of project, such a large amount of money, things that, as you know, you run into that you did not foresee.
You guys both, really good contractors.
Oh, no. I'm not saying that they're not good contractors. I'm saying that any project you go to do when you're building something, tearing down something, doing any kind of infrastructure, there's often unforeseen circumstances that lead to further costs. That's my only concern. I'm not saying I don't want to approve one of these after I take a look at it. I'm just saying that with anything with such a large amount of money using taxpayers and grants and so forth funding, that I want to make sure that we have, I don't think it's, unwarranted to make sure that we have a good buffer or cushion there for some unseen costs. That's my only concern with, quite honestly, anything about this entire project.
Right. I would suggest, and like the mayor said, we can have a copy of that. I can look it over. I can take it and go over it
With Gary.
with,
Okay.
and then, because what I would do, I would start picking out all of the things that are the same and because it could be, even though it's a higher amount, because of the extra stuff, if you take all that stuff away, it could actually be lower.
Yeah.
So,
And I'm not sure, we'll have to look, so I'm not gonna take up time to do that, but I'm not sure if it's itemized that. You
Well,
know, the
it's in
cost.
fairness to the contractor too, to,
Yeah.
like he's saying, you know, Luke may be giving you more money,
It
more
just makes
bang for the
me
buck, so to speak.
freaking crazy.
True.
Because I gave
Yeah.
them both the same list.
yeah,
Of course,
Exactly
but
what we
know
wanted.
how-
I spent
you know how
hours
things
with
roll.
you.
right.
So you were like, I had 5 minutes each time I came in. I mean, I really worked on this hard. We went to Gary Madlam and,
We don't doubt that.
Yeah,
but
so-
you can't,
Right.
you know,
I'd
that,
already talked to Bill Walsh today about the electrical part of it because I assumed that we would be, you know, they were gonna build the building part of it and then we would have to take care of the electrical and get the service in and all that. And, so I've already talked to Bill about,
okay, I know that. I know that, Luke has his own electrician and I know that Larry mentioned that, but I can't remember what he said, but I thought he was planning on having his own electrician hook it up also.
okay,
But that's something I can double check with him.
All right.
Because, there's just been a lot going on, so I will make copies of this as soon as the meeting's over
Yeah,
with.
that'd be
and give them
awesome.
to you
Yeah,
guys, and
perfect.
then Dwayne, you will take them and go, and I don't know why there isn't that, because I told him that I got quotes for sidewalks to go to the bathroom, and he said, well, you know, you asked for ADA sidewalk all the way around it, and I said, yes. So I knew I didn't
and one
forget
did
it.
that, yeah, one did not.
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
That eliminates the one that didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
okay, I will do that.
Didn't even-
Right. So
next,
I guess we need to decide here on, which way that we wanna go. There is no playground ordered, toys ordered yet, because, there was a misunderstanding, but they're gonna, I think, do blueprints once, and so it makes a difference if it's turf or mulch. And so that has held this up. And so, there is nothing. I just wanted you guys to know that, my reasoning for wanting turf so bad is that once they put it down, it has a lifetime of 15 years, probably 20. I compare it to the pool. We don't have to have a pool liner. We could paint it, but the amount of work, and it's a pain in the rear, that just do the pool liner, even though it costs more. Once the turf is put down, it is ADA, so those guys don't ever have to go back. I don't have to worry about a child falling off of a slide, and we didn't have enough mulch there. That's just really important to me that that we have something like that, then I know that it's always gonna be safe, and then the guys can put their hours in somewhere else. Trent went to the school and he asked the little kids, you know, what would you like? And he shared with me today, they said, we'd really like our playgrounds to be better. You know,
I talked to class of sixth graders Thursday. Couple things they were really excited about was the new additions to the pool, because I told them what was coming and how many of them attended last year. About every hand went up, and they were excited about what you're doing with the pool. And then I mentioned, somebody else mentioned, is there going to be anything happening at the parks, because we need some new stuff. So they They were excited about that.
Right, it's been, Manitou Mountain is 29 years old this year. So it's been minimum 29 years that we have upgraded our parks and it shows it. Not saying anything about the mowing or anything like that, but our parks are pretty sad. And, the other thing is that Manitou Mountain will be coming up and we get a lot of friction from that. And, so Trent and I talked about this and Dwayne, and that's why we went to the smaller parks, because we wanted to make a wow and make the town excited that we actually have something that nobody else has, and that's how they're doing with the pool. We have a climbing wall, and we have sunshades, and there's nobody around here that has that. So that's, they look at JC Park and they see how beautiful it is and how safe, then they would be excited for Manitou Mountain, and that would sure take the pressure off of us. So that's my feeling on it. I took a safety class and I almost wished I wouldn't have, because it bothers me not to have things up to snuff all the time. And so that would be a big relief and we could just move on. So, and we do have the money to cover it all. That's my feelings on it.
My feeling is this is the first park we're redoing. It should shine for all the others, okay? And the turf, if you don't like this park, the next one we do, you don't have to have it. If it don't work out, and
It's a good idea, yeah.
But we're gonna make this the best park right now, period.
Yeah, and I told Kim today, I said, we're not on a time schedule where we have to do the park in 2 years. I mean, if we look at Fancetler Park next year and say, okay, this is gonna be a little higher, we thought, we'll spread it over 2 years or something, and then look at Manitou Mountain 4 years out or something, but give the community a taste of this new equipment and everything to be able to, I think, better sell what we want to do in City Park.
Manitou Mountain is running, it is.
I know, but I'm just saying, we gotta watch a budget, so if
Right,
if we look at Fancetler Park and it's $1 million next year, when we might adjust some things,
And Manitou Mountains, see, I had a gentleman go in, that's a contractor, and inspect it. And he came back and told me it was, there were some things that had to be addressed, after all, it is wood. But at City Park, that's where you're gonna take and make the best of the best. Right now, we're gonna make this the best,
And we got a grant girl back there that, like, it takes a year to apply for some grants and they're really hard to get. But every grant that we can get to keep on, I'm thinking that probably it's gonna be around, probably 800,000 to do Manitou Mountain, right? Hopefully less, but if we can get fundraisers, a couple 100,000 that we can get, so it brings it down to 600,000. Okay, we're already at 350 here.
With this. So that's-
Yeah, so, and I think we can make it beautiful.
Well, the other thing that, as I mentioned before, when you get to that huge project, there is a thing called bonding. These are long-term purchases,
Yes.
and you can do a short-term bond to spread it over
Yes.
5 years or less.
Yes,
Nothing wrong with that. That's a tool to use.
okay.
So, keep that in mind, but I think, I agree with Mitch and Kim, this one needs to pop. And, we got, then you say there's a church with some kids coming.
Yeah, there's a nursery school.
First Christian.
Yeah, and then that's Lori's, and then Columbia School's putting in a nursery.
Said, the next one, if we think, well, that was nice, but
Yeah.
we'll take each one at a
It's
time.
very clean, and Bryce has talked to me about this before. He knows when he goes to a park with mulch, they're not going to dinner afterwards. If they go to one with the other, then, and it's,
The church,
it gets
sorry.
leaves and.
Is that church close enough that
They walk there.
Yes, they walk, it's right.
But I'm saying like Sunday after,
2 blocks.
I'm thinking like Sunday when church lets out, is there a situation where some of the kids might run over to the park and play on that?
Yeah,
In their church
Yeah.
clothes?
yeah,
Church clothes?
yeah. Because of the turf, the zip line, they're not really ever touching the turf. The swings have rubber foam mats under them, so that keeps them clean.
I know one thing with Mantle Mountain, so I was in the assembly in elementary school when Mantle Mountain came. And so I remember the whole thing being built and them asking us what we wanted. They asked us specifically, so every town had, each elementary school was asked what we wanted at our Mantle Mountain. We called our Mantle Mountain. So I know how special it is to the community, and I know all those bricks are still there. I know it's kind of in the future that we work on it. Would we keep all those bricks with everybody's names on?
They're
Absolutely.
low dollar, $2 bricks. I already got with Hyatt on that, and they're the lowest quality brick you can buy. So them even to just take them up, they're gonna crumble, but we talked about the
always
ones with the,
Costs more.
I was saying, how do you think you preserve
the one, okay, you called this.
Well, I
The
think
ones
they
with the
have
names on them, we can
sentimental-
save.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know if it would be taken up.
Beds out of them or something, yeah, we are,
It's gonna be a big thing. I mean, I know, I understand like the JC, like being
They're
the
bad.
mountain factor, seeing how people are gonna handle it. But is that something we can save? I know that would be really special.
oh yeah,
to the
most
community.
definitely, and make maybe some
Big
kind of
deal.
a fountain flower bed around them, or do some evergreen trees and do a border around them.
But
Yeah, we definitely want to.
concerning the turf, and this is not gonna be a popular response. But my concern again, and I'm just a frugal individual, is the cost. And I appreciate what you sent at the late hour, doing the comparison of over time. That was helpful. Now I'm kind of on the fence because of that. Had I not seen that, I probably would have continued to be very much the other way against popular consensus at this time. Now I'm thinking about it. That comparison was kind of enlightening. But I want to make sure that we're using taxpayer money in the best way possible. You know, that I'm new at this, but we are in unsure times and money is tight for a lot of folks. And to see that it's, what was it, $90,000 for turf seems like a lot of money initially. That's just where I'm at right now. But that comparison, if you look at the 15 to 20 years, it is enlightening for maintenance and replacement of the engineered wood. I hadn't thought of some of the things that you guys just said about the church and that sort of thing. It's a big responsibility in my eyes to make this decision, so I don't take it lightly.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I told Park Board right when I took office was really this money that you get every year is to be spent. Now, your decision is what's the best way to spend that money. What are the projects we have, which then we went to the 5-year plan. Then we went to the capital plan that Gary's been working with you all. So if it's in the budget and it's not shorting you from doing something else that really needs to be done or you want to do, that's really the decision, because the money that comes in the park board is meant to be spent to help the parks, period.
Sure.
And that's where you gotta look at the whole picture and say, okay, where are we at in our 5-year plan or 10-year plan? And this is a 15-year, 20-year investment. That's where I'm saying, if we find ourselves a little bit short as we're redoing the parks, you're doing a 15 or 20-year improvement, trying to pay for it in 1 year. That's when you look at the bond option. So that's where I'm coming from. I mean, I can't go out and buy a combine and pay cash for it,
Right,
finance it.
right.
That's spread it over acres. So it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
That one option, that NCL leasing, the government leasing, government leasing program, that works with small towns, procuring equipment and services.
the grants makes me, that makes me feel a little better about that too, that there'll be, what did you say, last year, $61,000.
61,000, and that was just Jesse and I getting started. We're-
And for the next year, like what everybody was talking about, so then you wanna go to Fansler, that was also a consideration, if we spend, hopefully not go further than the budget on this project, how will that affect next year's
Yeah, we have the
project?
same budget
You
all
know.
over again.
Like I said, you want to do it right. So if you look at Fancer, so this is a little more than what we planned for this year. Then you look at, well, maybe we need to spread it over a couple years. You can manage that. But-
Fansler has a bathroom.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to have some other things, but I'm just saying, you look at it next year. According to Beth, you guys are good for this year to do it the way you want to do it in the nicest possible way, if that's what you choose to do. But next year, prices may change. There's a lot of factors we don't know about next year. We'll deal with that next year. But if this fits in this year's budget and it's good, then I personally think we don't want to cut any corners on something. Just like we kind of decided as a park board not to cut any corners on the pool. We had that option, remember, when it came to the gutters or something that came up. We decided we want to do it right the first time, so we don't have to come back and redo it.
Yeah, we're
And
good
that's
for
kind of the same thing I see on the
years on the
situation.
And
Yeah.
we got all year to work on Fansler.
Right.
Right.
It's not like it has to be done after he gets done playground. We gotta start right now.
Right.
We may have different ideas after we see the playground.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It may not fit in the swing. Okay? And he may get hung up on the zip line.
Yeah.
But he wants it and he's gonna ride it,
And
right?
have we also, like this list that you put together with the cameras and electric and all that, in the initial couple of meetings I was involved in anyway since September, concerning the project, honestly, none of this stuff was mentioned until kind of towards the end. And I was like, oh, wait, are we doing this backwards? Maybe we should talk infrastructure first rather than
No.
play equipment.
Cause that comes out of the budget. That's not what we got from Beth. That's line items like.
I
Dwayne said.
understand,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying, is there anything, like you were saying with an engineer, is there anything we've forgotten?
I think we've covered quite a bit of it. I mean, all the big ticket items we've covered.
But we still never voted on it.
Right.
So I mean, we talked about it, but we
Right.
don't have a vote on any of this stuff, the
Right.
cameras or anything.
I just have.
We're putting in for grant, that's my issue. If, all it takes is, well, we didn't vote on that. Well, nobody voted on this camera. I mean, if I get a budget, the next thing I need to know is what I need to buy with that budget. And we're spending money on this, and this, but we still never even voted on what we actually want in the park. Like, we never voted on the cameras or security.
That's kind of we gotta have it.
The only thing we have.
Do we? I mean, there's none over there now. I mean, we know we have to have it, but I don't feel comfortable, and we have a budget. And I mean, it's not like it's $300 or $500 where, Dwayne could go out and buy it without approval. I mean, we're talking $20,000, $10,000, $50,000. And we never voted on any of this. But I mean, that's the thing is, I mean, if I build a house, I know I have a budget, and then this is what I want in the house, and it's been approved. So, I mean, we could go on, but I don't feel comfortable with.
But that's why I did all the line items with Beth. So now, I mean, you said, well, we want this and that. Well, we don't have prices on sidewalks, so I got that. So everything like Dwayne has said, it is there, and now is the time to say, who wants cameras in the park, which is, we know we need them. It's 20,000. Do we have it in the budget? Yes, it comes out of this line item, so we vote on it. Is that what we need to do right now?
We concentrated on the park playground equipment.
Right,
Right.
first, that's what I'm
Right.
saying,
And
yeah,
then,
that's what I
and
was saying, maybe
the
we should have done
bathroom
the
and all
other.
the other stuff came in afterwards.
Right,
We
right.
need to take and vote tonight, yes or no on the playground equipment.
Okay.
Well, we
I'm
did the
getting tired of
equipment.
seeing him sit out there and smile.
Well,
you know,
we
thinking
had
we're gonna
both
buy
on the
something else.
equipment that we covered. Am I wrong?
We
have the equipment, yeah.
Yeah, and I was actually under the impression that was ordered, not that we were waiting on,
I was told that later on.
Our timeline of like when we're coming to install it, it's just that when I submit the things through, if I don't have the correct CAD files showing the layout, they're gonna send me the wrong installation documents
Sure.
for the layout. And so just to save us from having to go in and me reading,
so the
changing files.
the turf and fiber combination.
Yep.
Okay.
Is the 290
Yes.
figure.
Yes.
That's what we need to do.
That's where we're at. We,
Yes, that, we need a yay or nay, in my opinion.
and that's the
Get a
one thing.
consensus of what we want. You know, you gave a little, I gave a
Yeah,
little.
on the
everybody
equipment,
did.
right.
So, and we came up with the listed.
Yeah, that's
Price is
done,
good
that
enough.
part's done,
And
that's
price.
not an issue. But what we're, I think, stuck on is the turf. The turf versus engineered wood completely or the combo.
So,
Here, the
real quick,
engineered wood, Manitou Mountain. Dwayne, you was involved, were you involved or was that Lenny?
With what? With the
Tearing it
rubber?
out,
Yeah, I was involved.
Tearing out what?
the,
Engineered stuff?
Yeah, the
the
wood chips.
chips, okay? It was a total mess.
Well, the one we're
It
gonna,
got down into, all of it was rotten down underneath,
Mhm.
okay?
that was real wood?
Yes.
Real wood. Okay,
Okay.
but we're not talking about that as an option here that I see. We see turf and fiber.
Well, engineered wood fiber it's just chopped, geometrically cut wood fiber. So it is wood.
Okay.
It's gonna decompose.
Not
That's
the
why.
engineered wood?
No, that's not, it's not like plastic or anything. It's real
Okay.
wood. So it decomposes.
Compressed.
That's why we come back in every 8 to 10 years. You come in and you excavate it all
Okay,
out
I
Yeah.
gotcha.
and you blow in fresh because it's gonna decompose into topsoil.
Right. It just keeps breaking
Now,
down.
the good thing about it is that you do get topsoil out of it after a long time.
Yeah.
But it's just something that you're gonna be continuously each year putting about 20% of what you originally had back in on
Yeah.
top.
And they had problems with it at Manitou Mountain because this is right, we had drains down there and then it clogged the drains and then it held water up on top of the mulch.
It was 2 foot of mud.
Well,
Yeah.
everybody said something here except for Ed, so I'd like to hear what Ed's.
okay, I did some research and, you know, I moved up here from Avon. So if you consider Fulton County and you consider Avon, because a lot of people say, well, we want to do it right. Okay, well, Hendricks County is the 8th largest county with 183,000 people in it in the state. And then Fulton, we're 71 with just a little over, we're 20,400 or 54,000 people. 54,000 people we're sitting at.
We're 20,000.
We're at 20,000, okay.
Yeah.
For the
So,
county.
so we're at 20,000. So, you know, I went around to 6 different parks and I talked to park manager. And, the one thing I looked at when we talk about doing things right is what they did. Danville is double our size, Danville, Indiana. And they have a play area. We call it Manitou Mountain. They call it Playscape. They already have 2.5 million set aside in their strategic operating fund to replace that. So I mean, Gary comes in and he talks about, well, hey, let's put money aside for strategic funds and stuff like that to set it aside for the future because we know we've got to replace it. Now, I went around to the parks and Plainfield is another a big city. They have a 5A school. When I look at these, I usually do the 2 up, 2 down method. But when we talk about doing things right, the 6 parks I looked at, well, I looked at Hummel Park, which is Plainfield, and they have that pour and play in their area. Then they have wood engineered hardwood and they have rubber mulch all in that same area. So with them, they have a combination of all 4. Their secondary park, which is Swinford Park, is all engineered hardwood. Then I know offhand their third park, which is Franklin,
Park is all engineered hardwood and they have some fields over there. Danville, the one I looked at, was their main park. And like I said, their main park had engineered hardwood. And then I looked at Avon Town Hall Park. And Avon Town Hall Park, Avon is the 10th largest high school in the state. So that's what it covers there. So they had engineered hardwood on both of their playgrounds. And then I went to Avon, Washington Township Park, which is the suburbs around Avon. So you get some Plainfield, Brownsburg, that's all the people outside of city limits. And they have a combination in their primary park of pour and play, engineered hardwood, and rubber mulch. So they have a combination of all of them. And then their secondary park, which I looked at, was Picar Park, and that was engineered hardwood. So, you know, when I look at, I usually don't compare ourselves to bigger cities because I think that's, you know, Avon has 2 Chick-fil-A's, you know, so it's hard to compare, you know, and when you look at restaurants, if you look at Outbacks and all that, they did all the marketing for them. You know, they're not going to let them open up a franchise because somebody had a lot of money. They do all the demographics, school size. You look at the school size, and the school size basically tells you we're not going to be a 5A school if we don't have the people. So basically, is what I'm getting at. It's also a lot of tax-based people. You know, we went to that I went to a meeting, and they talked about we want to focus on people because that's our tax revenues. So, I mean, the other thing that I looked at is with all of the 3 high schools that area covers, all of them has a turf football field. So, you know, I look at Rochester and I applaud. I would love to have the turf, but I think it would be best suited if we do it in our main park, because I've never, you know, even in the parks I looked at from the 8th biggest county in the state, their secondary parks was engineered hardwood. They put their money toward their primary park. Danville, who's going to be redoing their playscape, like I said, already has $2.5 million set aside for their park because they've been putting it inside. So, I mean, you know, I look at the main park, man, we have a lot of stuff we would like to do to the main park. They got all the courts. I mean, we don't have, I mean, even if you look at Fansler before that, we don't have the courts. However, I mean, we don't have the restroom to put in, but we have a lot of courts over there that needs replaced. We have a lot of other projects that can be done. So I just, you know, for me, I would rather put money in the bank toward the main park, which would be best suited. I mean, we went to Kokomo and we looked at places. Their spray pads were really good. It'd be nice to expand on that. I mean, we could come up with a lot of different things at the main park that we can. And I went and looked at JC Park. We have that listed as a neighborhood park. No matter how big we get it, people, you know, and there's no parking except alongside the street. We could put 800,000 in that park. And guess what? It's still a neighborhood park. People's not going to say, hey, let's go over to JC Park, you know, but they will the city. That's where the baseball games are. That's where everybody walks. That's where everybody rents the pavilions. That's where, in my opinion, the money needs to go. I love the turf idea, but I think it should be at the main park. And we put any money that we can save toward our main area. And I'm just not saying that because of me. I'm saying it because of the research I did as well. I mean, there's no other park out there that has I mean, there might be some out there, but that pour and play isn't all it's made out to be either, because I've never seen too many pour and play parks that has it. And I've never seen a turf field or a turf, except for like schools and stuff like that, where it's in a controlled environment, that the gates are locked, that teachers are out there monitoring, instead of just opened in the area. You know what I mean? We put that water fountain out there, Dwayne. Has that been vandalized since we put it out there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so even in the parks we went to in Kokomo, there was vandalism. Right? I mean, you see the vandalism. They started a fire on top of one of the play areas.
So I mean, you could do as much as you want to this park, but at the end of the day, there's a high probability that it's gonna be vandalized. You know, and I mean, it just, that's what I looked into. It's nothing personal to me. It's off of, I look at what other people do and then I formulate a decision based off of that and what's best for the taxpayers' bottom line.
Here's what I would do if I were you. Have a vote to approve just all the playground equipment, bathroom, everything that you have in front of you as far as figures. Playground equipment with the engineered hardwood. That'd be the first vote. That would be an approval for that, everything there with engineered wood, and then have a second vote saying, do we want to upgrade from engineered wood to the turf? And have that as a second vote. If that ends up being a tie or fails, we've still approved the progress we want to make on JC Parks. That makes sense?
Yeah, and one thing
In other words, don't have the turf tied into the whole thing. Whether it's
one
gonna be
thing that I
approved or not.
wanted to say to Ed is that, we use it or we lose it. So if we don't use our money out of the budget this year, it's just gone. I mean, we don't save it over until the next year, correct? Dwayne?
Not true.
Okay.
That's not true. That's what Gary came and talked to us
Okay.
about 2 meetings is
Hang on.
that's what he wants to go
Hang on.
for.
You mentioned about a bond that we could do for Manitou Mountain. That's like a couple of years off.
I'm just thinking, I mean, I told you last year, I was played golf with Don Sturz from Peru. They put irrigation throughout the whole golf course. And I said, it was like 1.3 million, similar to what we put in our pool. And I said, you pay cash? Oh, heck, no. We
Right.
took a bond out for that.
Right,
So you gotta look at these big long-term purchases
Right,
differently than
right.
you do to
That's
cash flow things.
small.
But-
And the other thing is, I personally don't care what any other town has. We have something at our pool that nobody else has, and we need to get good cameras. Dwayne and I even talked about maybe fencing in. At one time, putting a fence around it, the cops come and lock it at night.
Around.
The JC Park, investing in putting a fence around it.
That would change circumstances. if it were-
Right, so.
That might change.
And
my
the other thing is,
opinion.
I have
don't
been
know.
on the park board for 10 years and I know what a pain in the butt that mulch is. And I guarantee you, if you went to every one of those parks and you said you can have turf, they would. But like Kokomo has 36 parks. If you go to Carmel, they're all turf. I just think because of the nursery school right next door, Columbia School coming and whatever, it's nice, clean, it lasts for 15 years. I want to be different. I want to have something first, not 15 years later that we finally get a splash pad or whatever. That's just how I
I'm
feel.
not concerned about what we have that's first or anything like that. I just want to make nice, good fiscal
Do like the
decisions.
nurses.
I would say that I do appreciate Tammy and Ed, you guys' responsibility in making sure you guys are spending your constituents' money properly. And I think that by sending that thing out, like you said earlier, it does kind of give them a more apples to apples comparison of what lifelong harm of the turf is going to cost versus, probably having that engineered wood fiber throughout that time frame.
Yeah.
So kind of see that, in the end, they can end up actually costing more for the wood fiber than it did with having the turf. It makes it to 20 years. So in the end, you actually would be saving your community money with the turf versus the wood fiber. Plus, those numbers I give you didn't include any sort of paying for workers going out and maintaining their hourly pay that you would lump into that cost as well. With the turf, you don't really have any of that. You go out there and you brush it off, or you take a leaf blower and you blow it off. With wood fiber, you got to go out there pretty much every single day, depending on how often it's done.
Right.
You're going to be out there making sure you're having a rake, so you can
Well,
have the hourly upkeep.
I like the mayor's idea just so that we could go forward, because like I said, I was under the impression that we had already moved forward on the equipment. I didn't understand that, or there was some miscommunication or what have you, but so that we could move forward on the project as a whole, rather than have the turf hold the rest of the project up. What do you guys think about I don't know how to do that. We make a motion? We've got other items
Motion.
like cameras and all that sort
I
of
would,
thing.
I would, we know we need all that, so
Yeah.
let's vote for everything that's in there except for the turf, and this vote will be with engineered wood, and then take a second vote. Say, do we wanna step that up to turf?
Okay.
Because we don't need to hang this thing up forever.
I'm tired.
Well, we're all
Do you
tired.
need a motion to take and have the two votes?
I would have two votes. I would have the vote,
Okay, I'll make the motion. Make a motion that we vote on the park
in its entirety.
entirety. And with the playground equipment, with turf,
With engineered wood,
engineered wood.
then come back and do a second vote,
and
whether you want to
the
step it.
second one, we'll
Okay, something we'll do that
Come
right
back-
now
come
then.
back
Okay,
for the second.
so he just made,
You got that, Jessica?
So we'll
Yes,
include
don't-
this
don't include the
list
turf.
as
Leave
you
that word out.
presented it. The bathroom,
You gotta approve that
the
motion.
sidewalks, the camera, all that stuff. That's the entirety.
Yeah,
Right.
and the bathroom side of it will be subject to, you're not actually voting on the bathroom, I guess, because you gotta look at those quotes yet, so.
We're gonna do a bathroom on the other project.
Some bathroom,
Yeah, you're gonna have some kind of bathroom.
some
Yeah.
bathroom.
Right.
we'll do porta potty.
Well, I will second that then, that we do as it was presented, excluding the turf basically at this point.
He
This
just
is
did a
just for
quote for the turf and the
Wood.
mulch. That's the first vote.
No,
No,
it's
It's
not.
just the engineered,
For the engineered
Oh,
wood.
okay,
The
okay,
turf
sorry.
is separate.
Engineered wood.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's real simple. It's just everything you guys wanna have out there with the engineer wood.
Yep.
Make that vote. Then come back and say, okay, now, how many of us want to step that mulch up to?
Somebody second that motion.
I did.
Okay. Well,
I think I did.
Okay,
you have to call them. All approved?
All in favor?
All in
all
favor?
in favor, I'm sorry. All in favor, say aye.
I,
And good, you voted right.
but these two did not.
Right.
You voted for the whole, what did you just vote for? The playground equipment?
Everything but the turf.
The turf. The problem is, some people don't like the turf.
I know, but what did you just vote on?
All we need to do is settle
Everything but
down
the turf.
and forget about the other stuff.
I know, okay.
And vote on the friggin' turf. Do we
Well, that's
want
not
turf?
what we.
Oh, you're voting on the turf first?
That's not what we were doing.
No,
So,
but you made a motion to playground equipment with engineered wood. So you guys
That's
all
it.
have, yes.
That's it.
Now you guys all have to approve that,
And
and
the
you're
vote
gonna
is
make, someone's gonna make yeah, that's separate. You have to approve that, and then the next one is, you have to make, someone needs to make another motion.
They didn't approve it. It's
Right,
unanimous.
yeah.
So to make the second motion,
You gotta finish the first motion though.
pardon,
The first motion still needs finished.
we voted.
Was it all in favor of?
2-2.
Okay, so when we're tied, then it's no action and
Right.
we.
No action right now.
No, I'm a no, I don't get to vote.
Oh,
No,
no.
nobody can break the tie. It is, the
It's no action.
playground equipment is not ordered. It is a done deal.
Yeah.
And the second
Until
motion
we vote
would
again.
be the playground equipment with turf. And
And mulch.
other, chips where it's supposed to be.
Well,
But
that,
the playground equipment with the safety turf.
that's not what Mayor O'Donnell
Isn't that what
proposed.
you wanted
It
to?
is not what he proposed.
Okay.
So
Well, here's what I heard. Here's the motion that was, I heard before, was you were gonna vote on playground equipment, the bathroom, everything but the upgrade in turf from, and so that should have been, what I understood, probably should have been a 4-0 vote, because y'all want everything. And then the next vote will be strictly on upgrading to the turf. It's that simple.
That's
So-
not what happened.
I know it's not what happened.
Okay.
So I would redo everything. I would say, okay, let's get clear.
Well, it's a dead item because it was 2-2.
Well, that's what, you need to redo
That
it,
was
so you guys all have to be
practice.
in favor to move forward with
I
the
don't think that they
playground.
want to confirm
Yeah,
with fiber only. Is that what you're doing?
that's what I thought we were
You have to do that to move forward with the playground at all, but then your next vote after this, if you guys all four say, yes, we wanna move forward with this playground project, you're gonna
Then we can
say,
talk about
okay,
it.
who here someone's gonna make a motion saying, I want to upgrade it to turf. And if you got, who's ever in favor of that,
If you make that motion,
Okay,
So you wanna do
I
it?
make a motion, make a motion to accept, everything on this list with exception of the restroom, and we would vote on that separately. And all the playground equipment that we voted for, along with engineered hardwood as a safety surface. Move forward.
To move forward, I would second that.
All in favor?
So again, we're
So-
tied.
Well, that's what you're gonna make the next vote is gonna be.
So you're gonna have to make another motion in for the turf.
Yes,
Okay.
so this is just on the playground equipment.
And the project.
So we can move forward
Okay,
while we
vote,
try to,
Go ahead.
vote.
All in favor of moving forward with the playground equipment.
With what surface?
The engineered wood,
what you just motioned.
and it's 4-0. Now,
Right.
somebody make a motion if you want to upgrade from engineered wood to the turf and vote.
I'm
on
not
it.
doing that if it doesn't pass and then it goes back that it's to the turf. I won't do that.
Do what?
You mean back to
Said
the
it goes back
engineer wood?
to-
Well, you can vote however you want to vote. If you
Okay.
want to vote for turf, raise your hand for turf. If you don't, I mean, and if you don't want,
If it's
Spend
tight,
the
then
money.
it doesn't go back to turf and the steps away.
you mean engineered
It
wood?
goes to engineer.
Yeah.
Yes. If it doesn't pass, you have to take the vote. You don't have a choice. You need to make the motion, have the vote. If it dies, it dies. You're going to engineered wood.
Make it simple.
Yeah.
No grass, no gravel, just plain ass dirt.
That's what I would have wanted at the beginning.
Okay, I won't do that.
Okay, so
So we're
At
so
this
we're
time,
gonna
it's
go
been
with
said.
engineered wood.
I make a motion that we have turfs at the playground equipment.
So now Candy.
Now, is there a second?
Someone needs a
I
second.
need a second.
Who agrees with Mitch? So there's a second. Now call for a vote.
Vote.
All in favor?
I'm not sure.
That's two.
I know,
So
I'm
it's
sorry.
the action dies. So it's gonna be the engineered
Here's my,
wood.
here, I have a follow-up. Can I have a follow-up question?
You voted on, Candy voted on engineer wood.
Yeah,
Then
the
I
way
got-
it was, the way it was run through, it should have been a separate vote for turf.
Yeah, then
and a
no,
separate
that's
vote
not
for
right.
wood.
You just tricked me into voting for something
No.
just to get it passed.
No, I didn't. No, I
Because
didn't.
now you're gonna go
Or
with
they-
engineered and I don't want it.
Well, you voted that.
But
That's
you're only one
because
with the-
I
That's the way
thought
it
you
was
said I had to
presented.
do that.
The sorry part of it was the way it was presented,
No,
because the turf was not added into. It was completely.
I
separate.
missed your last meeting, but everything, so I'm not sure what all transpired, but everything to me is I mean, everybody knew what they were voting.
no,
Should.
I thought the way you said it, then we went ahead and voted again for the second time to upgrade it, but I did not realize, why didn't we start with the turf and,
It would have killed the whole project. If you'd have voted 2 for 2,
Yeah.
the whole project hung on that.
Well, the project is gonna be scrapped anyway.
it's, I feel like I did not understand and I want to take that back. We have the money to do it. We can do something right. We do not have any other place.
That's what I mean. We table it then.
We don't have any other place right now, like what you said, that we really need that money.
I'm just saying, you guys need to table it until next meeting and have a discussion and
Well, you know,
get clear on it then.
in discussion, we never voted on a piece of equipment, nothing. It was a consensus. Okay? And there was consensus about where you was gonna put the turf and where we was gonna put the chips. Okay, at the swing and at the zip line. And that's where it stopped.
Right.
We never did a vote. But it was consensus of all of us on all the equipment. And now we're getting into this, oh, I don't like dirt, I don't like some kid getting hurt or something like that. But here we go again.
Well,
Well, let's go back to the very beginning and start from one and take the very first thing we said, what piece of equipment do we want?
we
Don't do
voted.
a consensus let's vote on each
We
item
voted
and start
on
all
each of
over.
those.
Well,
That's where we're going.
the only thing I gotta
We
say is
voted
I
on
worked
those.
really hard on finding a
never
nice
voted on it.
bathroom
We did
so
vote
that
on
we
that.
could have
didn't.
more money.
Let's look at the
Because
next- we did.
your bathroom was
We did.
110
No,
or
we didn't.
70, you gotta add another 10, 15,000 to it. I've gone to Beth and gotten it all. Jesse and I can do grants. It's gonna put more money back towards this that we don't have to take out of this, and we have in the budget, and I just because no other town has it and not their major, when we get to the city park, that's when we start doing grants or we do bonds or we do whatever and prepare for that and work for it for a whole year. I just think our town deserves better, and mulch is not it to me. Really, really disappointing, so I don't care how you gotta do it, I'm not voting that way. I just work too damn hard to scrape up money and this and that to be able to give our kids, our town, something that we've never had, and that is top notch, walk past. Trent's been working his rear off, doing all different kinds of things around town, so's Dwayne. And parks are so important. When people come to move to town, they go to the parks because not everybody lives in the lake or in the country. And why we can't have something really super nice,
I think the park will be super nice.
well, that's your opinion.
And that's the thing is,
You know, when we say doing things right,
well, I looked at all 6 parks that I looked at and each one had a heated.
open restroom year round. Well, maybe they're doing it right. You know, so right is a subjective word.
Well, I don't
You
mean
know.
right, the nicest looking, I guess is what I'm saying, the wow factor. I'm not saying they aren't nice.
Can you vote on everything but wood versus chip today? Does it have?
That's what we did.
No, you voted
But there was-
chip or the wood, engineered
Guys
wood.
told me we can't do that because.
Can
they
you-
have to do
Oh,
it.
okay. So you guys have to. make a decision.
I would just say we,
I mean, what's your timeline?
I'll submit it through. I'll just make them do the extra work and rehab them redo the engineering on it. I'd rather have LSI do that and make sure and then they'll just have to send me the new layout drawing. And they'll just have to do the engineering twice, but I'd rather put that off them and then make sure we stay on your guys' pattern. And then that way we give you guys some time to talk about, I know I kind of got that stuff over to you a little later on today.
Yeah, I mean.
Discuss that,
that's
break it out,
really-
even add in some extra
Wayne-
numbers into that.
Wayne doesn't know what
It's
he's
all
doing,
about money.
right?
That's all it is.
You won't know what you're
It
doing.
is about money, because
As far
that's
as-
what it's about
How
money,
big
it's
you're-
about,
Yeah, until we know, tell
Yeah,
me what
he
you guys
can't do
do.
a thing until he knows which kind of everything that we got. I mean, what would it take for you guys? Is it that just because you think the main parks ought to have it and the smaller shouldn't, it is the smaller park? Or, I mean, if
Well,
Jessica and I get more money, fundraisers,
is another month of discussion about the perf gonna help anything? Do you guys want any more time to?
it's
To
not
discuss.
it's
They're
gonna
not gonna
hold things
change it.
up.
you,
I'm not
excuse
changing.
me, sir.
I mean, I got indication that you just started kind of.
Yeah.
She was.
Yeah, I got
We-
his
we-
information.
I sent her some stuff later on
Let,
today.
let me please speak. I don't mean any disrespect at all, first of all. But I received this information, I don't check my email every 10 minutes at 5 o'clock, probably before I saw your, well, I'm not sure.
Well, I
what
sent it probably like 3 or 2.
Yeah,
something like
you
that.
know,
But
whatever. I
leave
didn't
like
see it.
2 hours from here, so I have a bit of a drive.
Yeah, I know. I didn't see that, and that's important information. I don't want to make an uneducated, uninformed decision with other people's money. And then have community come to me and say, well, we needed this or that. Why did you guys spend $90,000 on turf? We don't even have kids over the play. I mean, we don't, I take that, as I said, largely, you worked hard, but please don't minimize what the rest of us have involved with this as well.
But,
What I meant was, when I said I worked hard, was I was trying to get everything that Ed brought up, which was great. We need benches, we need to do this or that, and anything else that anybody else brought up. I was trying to get everybody's wishes, and I agreed with Ed totally that we need to make sure that we have this, and this. I knew it could come out of the budget, but
I mean, it's not our park, it's their park.
Yeah.
You wanna make.
Right.
If you guys want,
For everyone.
if you guys want to take another, I don't know, 30 days to discuss the turf pipe. Procedurally, I think, that would have to be, since you've already done this vote with some confusion. Vote to table the turf selection of this until the next meeting. Gives everyone time to discuss, look at numbers, discuss cost of replacing the mulch or working with,
Right.
everything. And then come in maybe a little more confident of what you're voting on next meeting. Okay, we select this turf type.
Yeah.
We just select turf or we select engineered wood.
Right.
Does that sound fair?
We asked
Sound
our
clean?
Yeah, so
That's-
I,
I would like to, I'd like to know what the community might have to say. I understand, but why does it have to be rush? Please don't
Okay,
feel
because we
pressure.
were with the understanding that we were gonna have this playground done before the kids got out of school, which that can be changed, that's okay. But that's what Bryce was trying to help us, the kids get out of school the end of May, so when they get out of school, the fence is down and they can enjoy it all summer. And then the sooner that we get something done with the right decisions, then, I'm gun buster, let's go on to this project and start, like I talked about on the basketball courts and the tennis courts, I have not a clue how to fix them. And so, I've talked to, go to the park board meeting at Culver and see what they've done. And, but we only meet 12 days out of the year and I don't want to rush anything, but 12 days out of the year, if you don't stay Johnny on the spot, you don't get anything done either. So I say in 2 weeks, I call another meeting, we call another vote. And then Bryce.
I'm not opposed to that. Like I said, I received
Okay.
information that when I got to look at it was very enlightening to me to compare. I didn't get, in my opinion, a lot of time to really think about that and look at that.
Well, 2 weeks, is that enough time, I think, to come back and decide on the turf? Whether it's turf or whether it's engineered wood? Is that fair?
I would
Would that be
feel
okay
better
with
about
you?
it.
Okay.
Yeah, how much money difference are we talking here? I'm sorry, I
it's-
don't know.
90,000,
Well,
89,000.
the difference, yeah.
So you're
That 15
90,000 between this
Engineered
synthetic
hardwood.
hardwood.
So the turf versus the engineered wood fiber, which is just mulch basically, but it's cut in geometric. The main difference is you're really comparing apples to oranges.
Yeah.
1 year of wood fiber, your initial cost, but you have, you're comparing a turf that's gonna last 15 to 20 with minimal, zero
Which-
extra cost into it. And so that's what I did. I sent some information kind of breaking out like a cost benefit analysis. If it was to go 15 to 20 years, what that would kind of look like. I could also just add into that, maybe 5 hours of an hourly rate per week, added in, and then at a certain dollar amount, and then after every year they get a 5% raise. You could add that in there too, to see how much more that adds into the engineered wood fibers section of it. It will add into that. Extra cost on top of that as well. And then that way you have even a closer comparison, apples to oranges,
Yeah, I just kind of want to look at that information
Yeah.
more closely that he sent at kind of a late hour. I would also like to talk to Wayne and staff that have to deal with it on a weekly basis or however often you would have to deal with it.
Sure.
To see what it involves. I'm not a professional surface person. And I want to have complete information. I'm not going to make a decision until I do.
So I would take a vote before you leave that we're gonna decide upon the turf type, whatever it is, 2 weeks from tonight, well, but you have to advertise it and so forth so that you can come together and make that decision.
I make a motion that we reconvene in 2 weeks to determine the safety surface of the playground.
Okay,
I second that.
okay.
I
All
would
in
appreciate
favor?
it.
All in favor?
27.
All in favor, guys? Thank you.
He doesn't know what he's voting. He was talking to class.
Okay, Laura, okay.
He's trying to show me something.
Okay, I need a motion to.
I make a motion to close the
I'm not
meeting,
sure.
during the meeting.
I second that. All in favor?
I vote yes, we're done.
Get that off, Ed. Okay.
I'm amazed in the last 25 years at how many different surfaces that playground. So I'm just wondering too, keep in mind, what's the next 20 years going to be as far as possibilities too, as far as.
The newest one is cork, but it's really expensive.
Yeah.
So send it.
Okay,
But it,
give me a minute.
really big,
How much rubber you got left?
That we.
but it's.
None. I don't think we have any.
That's, I, was on my good friend. And we have a difference of opinion,
Yeah.
and you all wanted to do this for.
We-
the-
I mean, I can
I
order,
just don't want
I
it.
can order and get rubber chips anytime. I mean,
They built.
But those are yucky, right?
Okay, that's all I want.
They voted
in the
on it.
summer,
I don't want you to.
in the summertime, the problem with it is they get hot, it smells.
I
It'd be
know.
more like this.
Hot rubber.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah, yeah.
No, it doesn't rot,
Maybe we can.
but we have the same engine issue with the engineered wood. is that
What I wanna do
Pieces
about
get
that.
scattered.
Oh, Ed, I apologize
If you
about
guys don't want it.
There's that much, I mean, sometime I can,
Grind it down.
when you're free, I can
Put it
talk
out.
to you about it.
Yeah, you need to be out there every
And then-
night to rake it out. If it's not that very well used, it's 2 or 3 days, you're fine. Turf, it's, you go over it twice with a little power broom. Be yours to lift.
And I told them,
Right.
And this is the thing, it's only $150.
We'll do whatever.
He's got- he
Chances of
He put in.
to get kicked out of the way and then not having the right.
It's a strand line. So we had to.
Estimating if it's decomposed.
I don't know how much.
I think it would be good to have the
When the
call.
lights turn on, his.
That and just
And that's what
cleanliness
he
and
said.
a lot.
Looks unfinished in the dark.
Yeah.
When it lights up. If it's spray painted black, then that way, boom,
Yeah.
it pops and they can still see. And I said, well, what if we get it back? If we don't do it,
One of the issues
it's gonna be $750 to spray, to take all the zip ties.
is that like hit the swings, the kids are swinging, they're dragging their feet. And then
You got a.
so lose your, that they wreck.
How much?
I just hope you understand. I thought we were.
Is that a problem?
I didn't realize, otherwise I.
Honest-
I was just saying,
So I
hey,
apologize
Mitch,
Yeah, they have some new equipment.
hey, Mitch,
They also have old-
you guys both had
They have those slides like the old school steel slide.
chips and it's.
And there was.
Let's just get it out. Let's not pay the extra $100. So that's what I was basically.
So it's like,
And all I'm doing, when I get these emails from him, I'm just CCing you guys just to let you guys know. what
Right.
goes on.
This is what I'm
Dwayne-
saying.
Dwayne for-
we're not in that bad a shape.
Yes, I mean,
Safety.
Dwayne was like, he answered, oh,
And
okay.
look at, like,
I
that was the
didn't
thing.
want
that
us to
took-
re-vote on something.
No,
that
it
we'd
wasn't about the
already-
vote.
I don't care.
It's
what the
already
hell
over
you
there.
do,
He
that's
has
fine.
holes drilled in.
Yeah.
And all he said was, but that's, I don't care one way or the other. I just say we
Right.
get it, and if it
Right.
looks unfinished,
You gotta. When they take the vandalism, they're not grinding all the way down like this.
well, the thing is they're putting in holes every 3 inches.
Okay.
So I mean, there's a lot
The
of,
whole lot.
no, they're like a quarter inch to get a zip tie.
Oh, just the zip tie to hold
But he's
it.
just trying to break it.
Yeah.
But inside, they're pretty much sanding
Yeah.
the whole inside.
And it's not gonna like it going out.
You know, two zip ties.
You know, I, honestly, I'm not.
You only have to.
Yeah.
go
I think the
around.
worst thing.
Yeah.
You don't have to grind.
Because,
I think it was already ground.
yeah,
I think they
that'd
got.
be a month for having it heated, because.
Well, maybe they,
Then that means
I can
you have
tell
to
them.
heat it.
You know, I would just say,
When there's power outage.
Even if it looks unfinished,
why don't we just